Okay. We are live. Let's see here. Okay. Move this over here. Where's my chat? There it is. Okay. Well, let's see how this goes. I am now trying a new setup. Version 2.0? 1.2? Let's turn off my voice so I don't hear it. Uh-oh. Did I break it already? No, we're good. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do a little bit E3. I'm taking it easy on the stream. Not really easy. We're just gonna watch because I'm basically using my headphones as a mic. I got I think it's got I forget what's it. It's a decent pair of headphones. It's not great. It was like Turtle Beach or something, you know. The mic is okay, I guess. But we're gonna watch E3. Specifically G4 E3. Let's move my mic a little bit farther there and away from my face. Okay.
Whip says sweepstakes May 8th through May 21st.
This is 2005 E3 G4 Presents. We have not watched this. We've watched E3 2005. Turn up my headphone volume. Don't copyright strike me. You heard the sub sound? Wait, did you sub? I didn't hear the sub sound. Oh no. Did someone sub? Hold on a second. I think it keeps logging me out of all these sites. Yeah, it does. Which get it, sugar. Who subbed? Let's log into Streamlabs again. Let's log into Sound Alerts. If it logged us out, which it did. Yeah, I tried playing Frosty. I thought, because I saw everyone's playing that too. So I tried, I tried going to the place where they say to access it. By the way, let me know how my mic is. I turned off my monitoring. If it's too low, if it's whatever. I'm using my headphone mic right now. Not my Sennheiser. My Sennheiser doesn't have a mic. It's too good for a mic. These headphones are okay, I guess. Jeez. I want to be playing... So, is it midnight, then? Because I read different things. I read, like, it depends what country you're in. Depends if you're East Coast or West Coast. It's, like, super complicated. Because of course it is. Midnight? Okay, that's what... but it's weird. Like, it's different. It depends on West Coast, East Coast. Anyway, let's play the video. This is G4 Presents E3 2005.
Welcome to E3.
And there's Morgan Webb. Of all the hosts of G4, I had the biggest crush on Allison Hayslip. You remember her? In like 3 hours, I guess. For East Coast, I suppose. It's weird. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really not going to be able to play much because I got to be up early. It's dastardly that it releases at midnight.
05 Live, G4 TV's behind the scenes, before the scenes, and straining our necks to see the scenes look at the video game expo called E3. I'm Morgan Webb, and contractually bound to follow me everywhere is my X-Play co-host, Adam Sessler.
Who is preparing
Don't
himself
sass
for
the
what's going to
sass.
be the biggest E3 ever, and for some reason speaking irritatingly in the third person. Rounding things out is none other than TV's Kevin Pereira, host of Attack of the Show.
Kevin Pereira, he's kind of annoying, but he's alright. He's alright.
Stage with someone who attended E3
No, he's not the annoying one. There's another guy who's annoying. I can't remember his name.
66 when the expo was just a single room with a Pong machine.
2 Pong machines.
Oh, two, great. Now this year we've got the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, some hints at the Nintendo Revolution, and so much
Revolution.
booth swag that I've actually had to assign 2 interns.
Is my
to
mic
brother
okay in
for me.
relative
I'm
to the
that
volume?
powerful. Now if that fails, I'll be stealing stuff from G4TV.com host Jeff Keighley and
Oh, it's Keely. Is it if it's doing any weird stuff? Let me know. I can apply some more filters. It's Keely.
IGN editorial director Tal Blevins, who are here to share in the madness. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Now, we'll be coming to you live every
Keely.
day at E3 with 2 hours.
Little do they know that one day Keely will own E3. He will be ruler of them all, the one true.
Specials at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, once the show officially kicks off tomorrow. Tonight, we've got the breaking news from Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo's pre-E3 press conferences. First up is Sony, getting things started with a bang and a surprisingly cheesy PowerPoint presentation.
It was cheesy. Remember this? It was less cheesy and more like boring. That whole Sony E3 was just like so boring. But I guess they were like trying to prep everybody for the price tag. We finally left T-Mobile. Let's go. That's amazing. I'm glad you were able to. It's so messed up how all these telecommunications companies early on basically just got together and said like and carved out the country and said like, okay, we're gonna have this area, we're gonna have this area. So it's like it's so hard to get competition. Also, am I peeking at my mic? Why is my mic all over the place? It like, jeez Louise, man.
Good afternoon and welcome to the annual Sony Computer Entertainment E3 press conference.
Ridge Racer.
Please give a warm welcome to one of our company's founders, Ken.
We've seen this.
Founders Ken Kutaragi.
Capacity,
Crazy Taxi.
including
Surprise. I think Sony was the one that really came out and showed us what next generation can be.
Did they? They told us what next generation would be. They didn't really show us. Last time I was able to play my Switch online was that Mario Kart stream. I used my phone as a hotspot. So how's your online now? Are you able to play Valorant and stuff? Like, well, what about Apex?
I think also if you just look at the sheer numbers, usually my eyes glaze over, but there were a couple things that really stood
20
out.
years ago.
Impressive is
Yeah, almost.
the big complaint about Sony's PS2 was that the graphics processor had a hard time speaking to the actual CPU unit.
Right.
And now they have this 32 gig pipeline. It's like they've almost overcompensated in a comical way for what was the biggest sticking point of
Oh, if they only knew that the PS3 architecture is even worse in terms of complicated for developers. No lag, let's go!
the PS2.
And the graphics processor is really amazing. It's the equivalent of like 2 high-powered GeForce graphics cards that you'd find in your PC. And you can really see that in the output of games that they showed.
Well, I think what we're seeing with
Nice.
what Sony showed
Yeah, I
off
see
is
that you're
maybe
playing
not what
that.
is
I
gonna
guess it's
be,
good.
What we're going to be using everything for today, but there's a lot of potential for the future there as well.
That guy's shirt is so early 2000s, like almost Ed Hardy type deal.
Say one of the things that really interested me about that, and I thought they could have beat the audience over the head over and over again, was the ability to share media from your PS3 on your PSP wirelessly.
And play those games.
Anywhere you
Right.
go.
on your PSP.
But play
And
the
the
games,
video.
view the photos,
Yeah.
view the videos. I mean, that has got to put it like
And
a
let's not
serious
forget about
dent in Microsoft's
Blu-ray, which is, this will
Right.
And like this is a time before like smartphones, right? Because I think 2007 was when the first iPhone came out. Well, it's like right on the cusp.
probably be one of the first high-definition DVD players on the U.S. market,
And I mean,
it'll
that's
be in
like
PS3.
that's really a gamble because we don't know if people are going to really adopt Blu-ray as opposed to something else. But it's going to
Yeah, remember that? Remember that whole like thing? Like we didn't know if people were gonna go Blu-ray or HD DVD because the 360, like I think the 360 is one of the best systems ever made, but the 360, one of its fundamental flaws besides the red ring of death, which we would know about later, is the fact that it went with HD DVD. And I knew even back then, it's like, nah, Blu-ray's gonna win this race. It's like the classic Betamax versus
give them a little bit of a
VHS.
jump on the install base.
I think the big problem is how much is this going to cost?
Oh, if you only knew.
I
Right,
mean,
right.
that's a lot of tech inside there. I mean, if it's the equivalent of 2 of these NVIDIA cards, which are already retailing what,
Over
around
$500
around
for each one.
$500.
Yeah,
Well, obviously, it's not going to sell for $1,000, but I would be surprised if they can sell it for anything less
And
than
don't
$500.
Yep, he's right. And you know what? Like, this is the height of Sony's arrogance. Like, this was like Sony really got kind of bitch slapped during this generation because, you know, they were so confident after the PlayStation 1. They haven't had one bad thing. PlayStation 1 sold like crazy. PlayStation 2, obviously best-selling console of all time. And so they're...
Don't forget about the cell chip, which is, you know,
Right.
what Sony's
Right.
done with Toshiba and with IBM. This, you know, huge new sort of architecture. For, you know,
Right.
it's a supercomputer that's inside of
Right,
this.
and
I
we're
mean,
going
it's
to see
just-
that showing up in a lot of new places, I hope.
We hope,
Well,
yeah.
and
Zessler's
they'll
shirt looks
sell
like he's
good
about to
news. They'll
go
get their money back
bowling.
on it. NVIDIA will use the same graphics technology on their PC side of things, so they'll get their money back there. So I think Sony's willing to take a loss on the console just to establish Blu-ray in the homes because
don't know.
they have a vested interest in making sure
We
Blu-ray
might be a
takes
little
over.
too hopeful on that. About how much they're going to sell the console for. I feel like maybe we're being a little hopeful. Like maybe
the
we're
games are
telling them
good.
it's going to be cheaper.
Games
We're
are
like,
good.
Games are
I
good.
hope I
People will
only
pay
have
the
to
money.
spend
I'll buy
I
one
don't know.
for
I
you.
think Sony still
Well-
obviously wants to be dominant in the
Right.
the marketplace, and PlayStation almost stands for video game at this point. So
and they're going to have to pay for that. So now, when the little hand is on... Who am I kidding? You're wearing a calculator watch. Coming up, we've got even more news straight from Sony's mouth when E3
What is this
05
music?
Live continues.
What is this music? Oh my god, are we gonna get old commercials? Oh my god, please. I hope so. This music alright. It technically counts as music. Look at that CGI, bro.
New Colgate Max Fresh Cinnamon.
Oh my god. What? I don't even understand that commercial. There's like a dragon that comes in the party? What?
Packed with mini breath strips that
Are they saying like if you use this toothpaste, you're gonna like kill the party like you are?
explode to give you burst after burst of intense freshness.
Oh, you're gonna get laid. If you use these tooth strips, bro, you're gonna get laid. You ever watch Vinny's commercial chaos streams? No, I don't think so. I'm kind of late to the party with Vinny. Like I obviously am aware of him. I watched some of his stuff back in the day, but I've been like catching up on a lot of it. And like I relate to Vinny on so many levels. Both Vinnies, like I tell you what, Vinny Carabella from Nextlander, formerly of Giant Bomb, and Vinny, I don't know his last name, from Vine Sauce. I relate to those. I don't know what it is, but Vinnies. I relate to Vinnies. Oh shit.
Colgate Max Fresh with mini breath strips. So fresh, it's almost scary.
I love it. I love when commercials try to like tell you you're gonna get laid using their product. I love it.
Longer lasting. I was here first.
Yeah, but I saw it first.
It's mine.
Race
No.
War.
Yeah.
Give me this stuff.
No.
This is mine.
Gotta have sweet. Gotta have new, longer lasting juicy fruit.
Alright. Oh, Napoleon! Idiot! Don't copyright strike me. Yo, fun fact, when this movie came out, nobody gave a shit about it when it first came out. And I went to the theater and saw this, like, I don't think it was day one, but pretty much. And, like, nobody was talking about it. Now it's gained cult status. So, kind of funny. Buy the DVD. Vote for Pedro. Please don't copyright me. I'm gonna have to skip it. Not that it really matters, but...
Just listen to your heart. That's what I do.
That's what I do. It's a good movie. Cheap budget. Oh, commercials for the Marines. Do you want to be a gamer in real life? Is Call of Duty not
Passage
enough?
is intense. But if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors.
Remember that whole scandal involving Twitch and the army?
The proud, the Marines.
1-800-Marines.
Oh, hurry up, man. Boss is coming in. Dude, almost got it.
I think I've seen this commercial.
Hey guys, finished testing that game yet? I've got another one I need designed.
We just finished level 3 and need to tighten up the graphics a little bit.
Great.
Is this for like playtesters?
I can't believe we got jobs doing this.
I know. and my mom said I would never get anywhere with these games.
Call Westwood College online.
Oh, it's college.
800-914-8582. That's 914-8582.
Not intended for residents of Texas or Massachusetts. Why?
Call now.
Uh-oh. What was that about? Sorry, Texas and Massachusetts. We don't want you.
Welcome back to E305 Live, brought to you by Jeep. We're here on E3 East,
Jeep?
bringing you the top stories from the big three press conferences: Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. Okay, so the PS3 looks
Those
like a
were
fax
some
machine,
tick
but it
bitties,
sounds like
right?
it's going to make up for its lack of beauty with some serious brawn under the hood.
Not a lot of jiggle physics,
Over the
though.
next few minutes, I'd like...
I've seen this. Seen that.
32 bits.
In just 10, 20 seconds to pick up, oh wow, this is going to do some neat little
What
stuff.
up, John?
And the Unreal demo was
How you
quite
doing, man?
spectacular. And the fact that they could move around within the demo, I think, because everybody, the first thing everyone's like, oh, it's CG, it's pre-rendered, you know.
And talking to the guys at Epic, I mean, it sounds like that, you know, they did that really quickly,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Two
you know,
months.
How's it going, man? Hope you're
CPU,
feeling
They
better.
were saying they hardly even used the cell processor for it. It was mostly done
Nah.
in core and on the graphics chip. They said
Oh,
the graphics chip
no.
actually was limited probably to about 40 to 50% of its power, so there's
Well, here's a young Jeff Keighley, if that makes you feel any better. Not too bad. That's you know what? I feel like we'll take it.
still more that they can do with it. And this is just a hint of what's to come, and that's what's exciting is to think that's only
Yeah,
going to
and
get
the
better.
only thing is that Sony in the past, as everyone mentioned,
God,
with the
that
demos that
shirt.
they showed of the PS2 that were similar to this, they seem to open up possibilities that never fully got realized. on
Remember the
PS2.
emotion engine for PS2 at the old man's phase.
Well,
and all that
right.
stuff
And
is
think about
Sony.
it,
too, and developers as well. I mean, think about developers on PlayStation 2 now. They're using the power, and they know how to program for the PlayStation 2 now much better than they did early on.
And they just
So I just got a notification that my headphones are now set up. Okay. Okay. Hopefully my voice didn't get
And it
worse.
was like God of War, which is beautiful. And there was like, I didn't know my PlayStation 2 could do this. And, you know, I'm sure we'll see that same kind of thing at the end of the PlayStation 3's life cycle.
I think the one that I really liked, though, was the one of Piccadilly Circus in London. Just the naturalness of the characters in the
Photorealism,
background.
yeah.
It's those little touches that usually trick your eye into
And
realizing it's being
Sessler,
simulated.
Sessler has, like, what happened to Sessler, man? That dude went kind of cray-cray, huh? He went a little cray-cray.
And not real. And that one, you really are sort of testing yourself.
So
You
it
don't
has
really
that
have
sense of space that is so lacking from other games. You realize that it's supposed to be space and a representation of space, but you miss that like feeling that you're actually in London.
Didn't get a notification. Oh no, what happened, Saki? I logged into everything. Why? Everything should be... I'm logged into Streamlabs. I'm logged into Sound Alerts. No, it logged me out of Sound. Okay, I'm logged into Sound Alerts. I'm logged into Blurbs. I could check Nightbot. I should be always logged into Nightbot. Oh, you mean disc? Oh, you meant. Oh, that's what you meant. Just waiting for Monday. Monday is my heart appointment. Oh no. I mean, oh yes. You just got it from Discord? Oh no.
Tech demos, and that is not actually a game yet. We'll see.
Right. There's
So-
far more feelings coming
So
up.
YouTube?
And for in-depth rundowns on the specs for the PS3, check out our partner IGN.com. That's Tails Place. They
Yeah,
have round-the-clock E3 coverage, and we've got
I
plenty more Sony
prefer
bulletins coming
YouTube.
up.
I'm not gonna
Lots of
lie.
Xbox 360 hype from Microsoft.
I shouldn't
and
say
the first
that.
words from the unusually quiet Nintendo front. That's on the way. So resign yourself to not getting enough.
I should have just said that since I'm a Twitch affiliate, but you know. Alright, commercials!
Brought
Commercials!
to you by Area 51. The conspiracy is no longer a theory.
There's a game called Area 51 by Midway.
Area 51. The secret is out. Game Informer
Game Informer says one incredible shooter, so.
calls it one incredible shooter. Electronic Gaming Monthly declares it could
I love these out of context quotes though. The quote could actually be like, this would be one incredible shooter if it didn't suck so much.
be your next Halo.
Your next Halo.
No
I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi.
Uh-oh! Oh no.
Destroy the Sith. We must.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Will not be presented this evening.
Michelle, can you see how much time is left in the game?
Wait. Hold on. Why is my Star Wars not working? I think you guys can hear it. Hold on. Yeah, you can hear it. Had to do it, I'm sorry. Black Site Area 51 on 360. It was great. I've never heard of that either.
Michelle?
Butterfinger Crisp, the first light crispy wafer candy bar with Butterfinger cream and...
Yo, those were actually good. The second worst piece of Star Wars media. Wait, no, that was episode 3, wasn't it? Wasn't that episode 3? Episode 3 is definitely not the second piece. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Acolyte versus... Oh.
You son of a bitch.
I know what you're saying.
Crunchity bits.
Michelle?
So bold, so delicious.
Michelle? Look at the screen.
Dr. Beak?
What?
So dangerous. Butterfinger Crisp from Nestle.
I don't even understand
New way
that
to break out of the
commercial.
ordinary. Also in minis.
It's a good movie. Yeah, I'll allow it. I'll allow that statement. I won't ban you for that. It's okay.
Text chat with Wild Gal.
Oh, let's go, dude. I kind of want to text it right now. Attack of the Clones is the worst. It is the worst. Which is crazy, because like you would think after episode 1 they would have learned some lessons, but they learned all the wrong lessons, because as George Lucas says, Jar Jar is the key to all of this. Yo, Wild Gals on my flip phone Motorola.
Looking for a good time? Let's
Hot new service, Hot Honey's ready for you.
connect. If your thing is rap, then let's chat.
If your thing is what? Rap? In New York?
We're looking for fun, passionate guys.
Oh my god, text messaging is cheaper. So wait, you don't even talk on the phone? This is like texting? It's sexting? Wow. Yeah, I'm sure it's not some like 45-year-old overweight dude on the other end of that texting you. Like, yeah, I'm a hot 18-year-old ready to go.
I text while sitting at work, alone at home, or even in between.
Yo, chatnation.com. Anybody brave enough to go on that? Should I call that number? I'm gonna call that number. Uh-oh. Is my mic screwing up? My mic is making weird noises right now on me. Should I call it? Let's see. Yeah, my mic is being weird again. Hold on 1 second. I think I could fix that. I think that might be better. Alright, let's call it. I'm calling it. Hold on 1 second. I know, right? Is this going to put me on some list? 1-800-431-866. Let's call it.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
Oh, boo! Okay, you're on that. Anybody want to be on chatnation.com duty? Who's brave enough to go to chatnation.com?
classes. I love the flirt, especially on my cell phone with text messaging.
She's like in a dungeon. Did you see that? She's in a dungeon with a bottle of wine?
Especially on my cell phone with text messaging.
Simply
Careful, Saki. It says $1.99 per message.
SMS the keyword on the screen to 24824.
We're ready.
Oh my god. Sorry, this service is not available. Oh. Alright, I'll go to chatnation.com. Without a VPN. I'm not even going to use a VPN for this. Let's do it. Who's got this? The site is under construction and coming soon. Please check back at a later time. This domain is registered with networksolutions.com. Need assistance? Call 1-866.
To party with you.
With me?
You're watching E305 Live, brought to you by Cheap.
That's incredible. So yeah, I guess you just like text. Like, is that more? What do you guys think? Let's do a snap poll. Is that more or less pathetic than those call? Like, you remember those services where you can call and like basically have like sexy chat with people on the phone? Do you think that's like this texting thing is more or less pathetic? I wonder. I mean, it seems like it's more pathetic, but I don't know.
Frustrated with high-priced internet providers cleaning you out? They charge over $20 a month for service that should cost half of that. It's time you tried People PC Online. With People PC Online, you get unlimited internet access for only $10.95 a month. Go to peoplepc.com.
Peoplepc.com. Somebody owns that right now. They got swallowed up by a corporation.
Come now to try us free for 30 days and compare us with your current ISP. People PC Online has all the features you'd expect from the big ISPs and a few things you
It's
might
got
not,
webmail.
like virus blocker software to
I
help
love
protect your
webmail.
computer from harmful email viruses, more local access numbers than AOL, and a smart dialer for faster, more reliable connections, all for just $10.95 a month. No wonder over 500,000
One of these
people
days, we're
switched
just
to
gonna
People
do
PC
a
Online
commercial
last
stream.
year. To try us free,
Which
for
I think we
30
did
days,
once.
Go to peoplepc.com for a quick download of our easy-to-use software, or call 1-800-537-2017. People PC Online, a better way to internet.
Office Max. Circuit City, yo.
All right, this is E305 Live, and I'm Kevin Pereira, and we are whipping your E3 fervor into a frenzy.
That's what I was getting
with
at
reports
earlier.
Directly from the pre-show press conferences. Now, it's all the fun of being a member of the press corps without the cool fedora and the drinking problem.
Speak for yourself.
Sessler, actually. Still to come, Nintendo opens their cute cartoon mouth to announce their E3 plans, and Jay
What did he say? Cute cartoon mouth?
Allard touts the Xbox 360 while wearing something very...
Gather the completion of a bunch of cringe and funny commercials. Yeah, I mean, I know there's like tons of that stuff on YouTube. There's tons and tons of it. Yeah, I agree. I think we did it. We did it like for a little bit. We did it at the end of the stream. Yeah, exactly. I think you're right. So, I mean, that could be fun, you know.
very hip. But first, Sony continues to stoke the flames of their rivalry with Microsoft.
Her babying
We're talking
Nintendo.
giant robots, cowboys, and women who actually listen when you talk to them. Here are some big titles coming up.
Well, dude, all you got to do is text "hot, sexy time" to the ladies, and there you go.
For the PS3.
PlayStation.
Seen it. Seen it. Fifth Phantom Saga.
The experiences of the future.
Sorry, did you guys, I don't know if you heard that plopping noise? That was actually the sound of a million Sony fanboys simultaneously soiling themselves.
Oh.
Jeff, tell me. A little pre-rendered for my taste.
Well, but the great thing is
but does it look good?
Yeah, because people are now debating whether this stuff is CG or or actual gameplay because it looks so good. I think what's great about these, no matter what they are, is they capture your imagination about where gameplay
But
should
now,
go.
couldn't Microsoft, hire an ILM or a Pixar and capture the imagination?
I like Keighley. I'm a defender of Keighley. A lot of people like to poop on Keighley. I think the dude legitimately just loves video games and wants to, like, celebrate games. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't really get any, like, nefarious... I don't think Fifth Phantom ever came out. Yeah, honestly, I don't think I've ever heard of that besides when we saw it at E3. Text 2 flirt to EA and they might come back. EA Games. It's in the ass. It never came out. Oh. Those games always fascinate me. Remember that trailer we saw at E3 where it was like at a gas station and there was a big shootout? That game looks so freaking good. It never came out.
But Sony did show some real-time stuff. So that Fight Night demo, I mean, that was real-time running.
Bring back Fight Night. For God's sakes, Fight Night rules. Bring it back.
On the hardware. So it's like, I think it's
as was the game from Insomniac.
As the game from Insomniac
Fight Night's
and
so
the
good.
Unreal. I mean, those. So there is that potential for them.
So
to
people
actually
know
look
it
like
could get that good. And I talked to Ubisoft yesterday, and that Killing Day game. They said that is CG,
which broke my heart.
Well, but it's an attempt to sort of recognize.
Killing Dead. Is that the name of the game? Killing Dead? That's the most silly name.
What it's probably going to look like on
And
PS3.
it's early. That console isn't coming out for like another year. I mean, like they gotta get some time to work on these games and make them happen.
And I think we all know that what we saw today is some gameplay stuff, some CG.
If
stuff.
anyone subbed or anything like that, let me know, or donated bits, because I don't know if my notifications are working.
What has been its strength this round, which is having so many unique and varied titles available on the console. I mean, it's really always been their strength. And a lot of these, like, I'm not a huge fan of the driving genre, but the off-road racing game.
It looks
really,
very
the windshield wiper and the mud.
Yeah.
And the thing is that even the developers, I think, they look at these demos and that inspires them to think about how they're going to take games to the next level. Because a lot of other tech demos using for other consoles, they don't say, this is where games are going.
What we haven't seen, at least I haven't seen a 360 demo yet.
I sub alert when I subbed earlier, but nothing popped it. Oh, thank you for the sub. So you heard it, but I didn't. I think what's happening is because I'm using different headphones, everything I have set up, I have it all set up to play through my headphones, but it sucks because like when you switch to a different headphone, you have to then go in and like turn it off and turn it on again. That's why like when I played Star Wars, I didn't hear Star Wars, but you did. Same thing with this sound. I don't hear that,
bitch.
But I know it's playing, so I have to go in and do all of this over again. Oh, ugh. Really? Well, that doesn't make any sense. That makes 0 sense whatsoever. Let me make a note to myself, because that really makes no sense whatsoever. You think that one E3 filmer that kept zooming into ladies that took commercials opportunity? Oh, I remember that. Yeah, right? Oh, God. Maybe he's the founder of the company.
Where it's just
Discord.
one character like a Doc Ock, highly polygonal, super modeled out. I haven't seen Microsoft showing off any demos like that, and I wonder, is that because they're not capable of getting that high def, or is it just because?
Well, on Xbox One they did, the butterfly demo, all these other things. I haven't seen the tech demos. We'll talk about that later. But I think Sony was great because all the demos they showed, I think developers went home that night and started thinking, what can I do for PS4?
Exactly. I think it helps you realize instead of trying
Black
to wrap
Site,
your
Area
head around
51.
an entire game concept, you see in 10, 20 seconds. You
Oh,
get what's going
that's the game
on.
you're talking about,
Right.
yeah.
It'd be
Is
fun.
that once the games come out, on the first round, will they be so far below what
I wonder
we
if it's
saw
part of the
today
same
that you'll feel
franchise
like
as
it?
Area
That's why
51.
I have a little bit of confidence in Sony that they're not going to do that. They're not going to make the quality of their games so much lower
But
than
they
their
did with the
original.
PlayStation 2,
They're
though.
not
You
gonna
got,
make it-
don't forget that. They did with the PlayStation 2.
think they
Everything was
kinda-
really jaggy. The Dreamcast had better looking games when the PlayStation launched.
But
think they
remember,
learned
there
their
were
lesson,
real-time
maybe?
demos there.
I
But it
hope.
was just CG. But remember, there were real-time things there.
And
All
they
right.
looked pretty damn good.
They did. They did. All right, now if you left now, you'd miss the final Sony press conference report. And honestly, would you ever be able to look yourself in the mirror again? I mean, how would you shave? Tragic. Think about that while we help sell you things.
Wow, it is. That's fascinating. Huh. What is this music? It's like... It's... Don't copyright strike me.
On May 27,
Oh my god, is this
Man, I'm so bad
What is this?
Pick me after the white kids.
Sampler, rock. You gotta get some speed.
You got no brothers.
We got Switowski.
That's one brother. This ain't hockey.
Is this like Waterboy 2? Oh, The Longest Yard. I never saw that. Is that any good? I'm assuming no.
Why am I in the Army Reserve?
Longest Yard, yeah. I've heard of it.
It's not just for the experience.
We're seeing a lot of military commercials. We saw it for the Marines. I guess they want to, you know, hire up. You know, this is, what, 4 years after 9/11? We're still kind of, you know.
Or the training I can use as a soldier and as a civilian. It's for them. For my country. And it's all worth fighting for.
Visit GoArmyReserve.com.
Buried Treasure is brought to you by EB Games.
It's the summer of
EB
Spider-Man
Games.
2. Everybody's talking about our favorite web slinger out there, but I don't want you guys to forget the classic Spider-Man game that was available on the PlayStation 1, the Dreamcast, the N64, the PC, even the Mac. Now this one was developed by
Mac.
Neversoft, the same guys that did the Tony Hawk games, and in this game you can do all kinds of great things.
Oh, it's
Of course,
Neversoft
you
did
can web
this.
sling through all kinds of New York City buildings, but there's lots of
I don't know if I knew
interior
that.
levels as well. Neversoft did a fantastic job with the controls. As we all know, controlling Spider-Man is a very tricky proposition because he can do all kinds of great things. Not only can he fight
Mobile is
really
delayed.
well, he can actually
Oh my god, my mic is acting weird. Mobile's delayed. You could try putting in a 1.25 speed for a little bit, Saki. Sometimes that fixes it for me. It's not The Replacements. That is one of the best football movies ever. I have not seen that. I haven't seen many football movies. I saw Rudy. That was okay. I saw The Water Boy. You played the Spider-Man game? Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it played.
He changed his
I
abilities by shooting webbing around his hands, and suddenly he'll have more powerful attacks, which is really cool. No matter what system you pick this one up for, you're going to have a great time. It's Activision's first kick at the can with the Spider-Man license, and it's fantastic.
Check out this and other buried
There you
treasures
go.
at EB Games. No cash, no problem.
I see you out there.
Still trying to be fly with
Dude's got a Motorhead shirt on. Fuck yeah.
that 10-year-old cassette player. Come on, dog. Join us in the 21st century.
Dude, like every other ad has like hot ladies in it.
How does a $20,000 interior car makeover sound to you? Watch G4 for clues every night from 7
Oh my god. Pimp My Ride, remember that?
p.m. to 1 a.m. Then go to G4TV.com to enter the Whipset sweepstakes. 4 new clues drop every night. The more you watch, the more
Like, what is the point of okay.
chances you have to win. Please believe it's the Whipset sweepstakes, May 8th through May 21st.
Is Spider-Man 2 game on PS2? I think that one was good. I feel like those old Spider-Man games in general were overall pretty good. I don't like football. Just the replacements and stuff. I enjoy football, but like in terms of football movies, I feel like baseball does better with movies. You know, you had Bull Durham, which is a great baseball movie. You know, Field of Dreams is pretty good. League of Their Own is great. I feel like baseball is better for movies. That's what the Pizza Time music is from. I used to watch, I can't remember its name. They had a few. Gamers want it.
No pass to the Sony press conference is harder to get than a near-mint Star Wars yak face action figure. But trust me, the press pass is much more attractive than an overpriced plastic man with a giant llama head. The good news is we have the next best thing to a Sony press pass. A first look at the most impressive game we saw in Sony's PS3 lineup, Killzone.
Killzone, most impressive. Okay, Killzone was good. I owned Killzone. I beat it. It was a good game.
As you watch this, try to figure out if this is pre-rendered or real-time gameplay.
All right, everybody. Is it pre-rendered or is it real time? Let's find out.
Hey.
Okay, listen up.
That's an in-game cutscene. That's in engine right there. It still looks pretty good. I played 1 and 2. I don't remember if I played 3. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I played all of them. I think I rented 3 from GameFly. Good games. Wasn't that made by the studio who does Horizon? What the hell's their name? Gosh, I'm blanking. It was, right? Yeah. Yep. I can't remember their name now. It's driving me nuts, but yeah. I think it starts with an R, but I don't know. It's a good studio, man. Really good studio. Like, thank you, Guerrilla Games. It doesn't start with an R, but it has 2 R's next to each other. And I think Guerrilla Games was led by Herman Holtz. Is that his name? Who's now for Sony? I need an energy drink soon. My brain's not working properly.
I think Killzone 3 just earned the nickname Halo Killer. Tal, is that real-time gameplay?
I would love to believe it is.
It's not.
I don't know, dude.
I would still have to get my hands on it, you know? I mean, seeing that, I sure as hope that's what we're going to be playing on the PS3.
Wait, do we know? Do we know? Because last night on the forums,
confusing,
everybody, I mean, there were page after page after page. Any forum
Sony
you
was
went
saying
to,
it was real time.
Sony's official line, they say real-time, in-game. That's actually what you're going to be saying.
But on the forums, people are saying, you know, is this a Scottish CGI house who did, you know, the
Why does it
cutscenes
have
for
to be
Killzone
regional
1?
to where it was being developed? I find this funny. It's Scottish. It's that way.
The textures were clearly
You know,
Scottish.
no matter what it is, it's like I think it. You know, Killzone was a franchise. On PS2, people were not particularly impressed with the game. It was okay, but it's like now you see this and people are saying, you know,
Halo Killer.
I mean, imagine this was a launch.
You know, Keighley, he's always been a straight shooter. He's not doing these corny jokes. Keighley is kind of timeless. Like, this guy, you know, he's a straightforward, just like, you gotta respect the man.
Launch title, and I don't. Maybe it won't come for launch, but I just think it looks so fantastic. It's a great imagination of where first-person shooters are going to eventually go. Wouldn't you give it that, Cal?
I would absolutely. In fact, I would give it that if it is real time and it's using in-game assets and that is legit, then that is the death blow to the 360 before it's even out. However, I still maintain there is
death
no
blow
way
to 360.
that is not pre-rendered. That has got to be pre-rendered.
But let's also remember too, games aren't just about graphics. I mean, we're actually going to have to see how this thing plays before we definitively say
does
it's
not.
a killer.
Well, which is a very, very good
Sound
point because when we
familiar to
also
me.
saw the controllers, that
Fastlane.
it has that odd boomerang shape.
Right.
One of the biggest problems that we've had with first-person shooters on the PS2 is the fact that unlike the Xbox controller, they're on the same axis, which makes it very hard. It's like, you know, patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. And so I was
I know they had Attack of the Show. I know they had X-Play. They tried a couple other
We're gonna do that until we
things.
get our hands on it. I thought the
I know,
boomerang
I want my
control
hands
looked
on
kind of
it.
nice, and you could kind of have it on the side.
I figured it was just good to
smaller.
turn on your PS2 or PS3 and get it back again. But notice how you capture the buzz. It's like by showing something like that. I mean, Microsoft could have done it. Nintendo could have done it. They could have shown some really great CG stuff. And I think
But they
what's great
didn't
is
have that great CG stuff.
and the great thing is the CG
Wait till they
stuff
hear
now
about the
is really
price.
debating it now because the real-time demos look so good. So now, you know, experts like us don't even necessarily really know if that's real. or
I
not.
can buy it.
Actually, I know that was pre-rendered.
Okay.
I know it.
Oh,
In
God.
my heart of hearts, deep down, Adam, I will
Buddy
punch you
Cop
in the
show
mouth.
with
It is
cars?
pre-rendered.
I'm
Whoa.
only on a 5% chance
Is it any
that there are
good?
at least assets in that.
Perhaps.
In-game assets that this really is a legitimate hope.
Honestly, I only like X-Play. Even Attack of the Show, I watched.
Maybe there were some CG assets. Maybe there was a little enhancement in the flames or the faces.
A little cheating here and
facial
there.
expressions, a little cheating.
Actually, you know what would be fun is to go and watch like old X-Plays. And actually Twitch, I don't know if they're still doing it, but you know how Twitch streams old Giant Bomb stuff 24/7? I don't know if they still do, but a thing popped up on Twitch where it was just streaming old G4 stuff, like old X-Play stuff. like 24/7. It was like so cool. Like 13 and liking it. We could check that out too. It'd be fun to go and watch old X plays and old like G4 stuff.
To make it look like they hope it's going to be.
Eventually. I think
Eventually,
we can all,
one
yeah,
day,
I
like
think we
10
can-
years.
that's right. I think we can all agree on and that we.
When you think about it, it's kind of weird that like even though video games are bigger than movies, bigger than music, bigger than TV combined, really, even though video games are the biggest thing, we still like we never can get like TV shows where it's just talking about games. Like it just can't happen. It's kind of funny that way, and I get kind of why, but
maybe the next generation was a little too early for us. But if games really are going to look like this,
that's the
then,
quantum leap.
Then maybe.
I mean, I guess Twitch is kind of what that is, right? What that's become, but it's still fascinating.
That is true. No one is going to say PlayStation 2.5 if Killzone is real time. Without
And that's what Sony wanted to accomplish. is
And
like
they did
people
it.
see
They-
that.
It's gorgeous, even pre-rendered, though, to think that, you know, it's
I'd love to see that
beautiful,
CGI
it's
film.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's like an
Exactly,
exciting
an entire
movie.
film like
I'd
that.
love to
Yeah,
see
I'm
that.
all for that. Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, I guess the other question is what's interesting. Like, going back to the fact that it was Killzone, something I think all four of us can sit here and
The
say.
chairs look like they're from the Jetsons.
Working on this.
I mean, I think Sony's now going to like, see what our reaction is. Just go back through their other catalog of games that also were, like The Getaway. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
The Getaway.
The quality of these graphics, suddenly with all these kind of flagging
Well, that's true,
franchises
Saki.
and bring them to a higher
That's
level.
true.
Yeah, if you think we're finished,
All right.
we're not. But
Oh,
you
we're
don't know Microsoft very well. There's
Twitch is like OnlyFans light.
subtle efforts to dominate this year's E3 have not gone unnoticed. And we'll have more after this.
This debate isn't over yet.
Not over.
TikTok the hub. Oh god. This song I hate.
Gotta have longer lasting sweet. Gotta have new juicy fruit, grapermelon, and strappleberry.
Strappleberry. Commercials time. Only tits. Yeah, don't call it Twitch anymore, coach. Call it tits. Oh, that makes a little more sense. Yeah, G4 played syndicated stuff. I think G4, remember they played like Cops a lot? Like that show Cops? They showed syndicated reruns of that show, I think. That was like big. And that's another thing I'm thinking about doing is like streaming reactions to like, you know, the sort of body cam stuff. It's very boomer-esque entertainment, but I think it might be fun. Posted a trailer for it on Discord? Sweet!
Longer lasting.
Hey, who's that? Come here, that's mine. Hey, now bring it back.
Gotta have sweet, gotta have new, longer lasting juicy fruit.
The fuck?
One warrior
You must protect Appleseed.
holds the key. The mobile fortress to the future of all man.
Oh, yeah, I have it downloaded. I mean, we watched Neil Breen, so honestly, I might just take a chance and watch The Room. I have it downloaded. And I downloaded it, I don't think it was a shady source. I think it was Internet Archive. Appleseed! I don't know what that is. Bomb Patrol Afghanistan was on G4 and that was so good. Ooh. And it was like real? Not like TV drama? This movie's awesome? This is a movie, not a game?
Appleseed.
Huh. Okay.
Singing Star Wars ringtones, take 73.
Very nice, Chewie. Now this one, you said, all right, beautiful? Off you go. Try one with no accent.
I love it. Now make me hate it.
Exclusive Star Wars ringtones and downloads created just for Singular.
That's an
Oh
interesting
my god.
choice.
Come in now for the
Wow. Remember when like ringtones and wallpapers was like a huge industry where you could buy and download? Well, do you guys remember what your first downloaded song on a phone was? Because I do. I do. It was Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue. And I set the volume super loud so that anytime I was in like a Wawa or something and the thing went off, it was like, dun, 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 like super loud and obnoxious. There's more than one movie. Incredible Chewbacca will not be airing today. Such a good song. It is. And I didn't even choose it necessarily because I love it, because I like it. I mean, let me tell you something. Motley Crue, if I'm going to listen to Motley Crue, it's going to be Looks That Kill. That's their best song. But that is a good one too, though. Shout out to Double.
The new S710 preloaded with Star Wars.
Oh my God, Sony Ericsson.
Extras and get
Zelda item gets set. That was your ringtone? I don't remember what my first sound was for like text or something, but I'm talking about like song. Phone had flashlight apps? Like separate apps? Can't forget the lighter apps. Yeah, text tone. Okay. I don't remember what my first text tone was. That dude I work with, who sometimes streams, what's his stream name? Kalitz? He has, hey, listen, for his text message, the Zedge app? I don't know what that is.
2 free tickets to Star Wars Episode 3.
2 free tickets.
Singular, raising the bar.
Remember Singular?
Taking so long?
Wow, they actually got Anthony Daniels. That was him. Video and games. Oh, it's got both.
Let's count sand. It's not.
It's Journey.
Farmer Extreme.
Let's wait in line. Awesome. This is all you guys have? Where are all the good games? You guys have nothing.
It's like Billy Joe Armstrong.
We have not a 3.
With GameFly.com, you can stay at home and rent games from
Gamefly. I definitely had Gamefly for a while. Reaper Sound. Ooh, that's a good one. That's where you downloaded wallpapers and stuff. Oh, okay, then I did have that.
the largest selection on the planet, and we'll send them to you. Go to Gamefly.com now for your free trial. Rated T through M.
Gamefly was okay. The fuck am I looking at? You know what? This is the first time we're getting hot guys to sell stuff, so there you go. I still buy some stuff from Gameplay. Oh, yeah, I always forget that. And you can also, well, you used to be able to buy stuff from Redbox when they had games, and you can get them discounted. So yeah, that's a good idea. I need to remember to think about that. Because Redbox used to have games, and like you can get them for real cheap when if you get the right timing. How do you go from Gamefly to some dude in his underwear? Dude, this is the early 2000s. This is the early aughts. Like, you go from commercials about joining the Marines to, like, sexting. This song is totally a knockoff of, you guys ever hear the song The Passenger by Iggy Pop? Listen to The Passenger by Iggy Pop. And then listen to this. That's totally a knockoff The Passenger. That's me with the music cuts. You guys, you know I always bring those deep cuts with music. That's not really even deep cut, but I mean I bought like 4 games in the last 2 weeks, so I don't need to look for more. I know, right? That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm just killing time until Elden Ring DLC comes out. Like I've been playing Into the Breach again. Arguably the best game ever made. I actually, Saki, you'd be happy about this. I fired up Sackboy's A Big Adventure last night. I played a couple levels of that. Because I'm like, you know what? I just want to play something quick. Two and a half hours remaining, right? If it's true that we can play it at midnight.
All right, E3 05 Live is back. But remember, don't dive into any of this press conference coverage without first consulting a physician. Now that we've been suitably impressed by the PS Tray,
nice.
as we're going to start calling it, and we know you too, you're going to do it as well. Will Microsoft regret blowing their wad on MTV?
Oh! Whoa! I gotta hear that again, dude.
What are the questions?
I have it on disc too. And I bought the DLC.
All right, E3 05 Live is back. But remember, don't dive into any of this press conference coverage without first consulting a physician. Now that we've been suitably impressed by the PS Tray, as we're going to start calling it, and we know you too, you're going to do it as well. Will Microsoft regret blowing their wad on
Kevin, I think you've been using that sexting chat service a little too much, buddy. You got something on your mind that I don't want to know about. You really just said blowing your load.
MTV, or do they still have some surprises inside the 360?
That's good.
Enough with the questions.
I should cut that. I should clip that and make it one of my video interludes.
Let's see.
Oh god, I love it. Okay, we've seen this already.
And it's on.
Did Microsoft blow their load? I mean, why?
All right, so Microsoft learned from Sony that backwards compatibility is a very good idea, especially when you're still releasing a ton of Xbox One titles. But Jeff, is it all about the new games, or is it even important?
Well, wait a second. We got to talk about that backwards compatibility because I think people misinterpret that.
There was an asterisk, a giant asterisk.
Exactly. It's like with top-selling games. Now, top-selling games, that could mean Halo and Halo 2, and that's it. So that's not backwards compatibility to me.
Good
and,
point.
You know, Microsoft's not
Lords of the Fallen last weekend?
What about Blinks 2, Tal? When you want to put Blinks 2 in the drive.
Everybody neglects Fusion Frenzy.
Looking at some of the
Wait,
games that Microsoft had
really?
out,
Is
like,
Lords of the
I'm not
Fallen
super
good?
excited about any of those titles except for Gears of War, so maybe I'm going to want to go back and play Halo 2.
And
I thought those were not good games.
No, and it's like they can't do backwards compatibility hardware-wise, so they have to do it software-wise. So I think they're going to pick, maybe it'll be the top 5, maybe the top 10 games.
Right.
backwards
You know,
Someone
compatible.
got this
do
guy
think
script.
it has maybe a relationship to XNA or the relationship to the hard drive. These features that are
No, the
being
issue is
imported.
they have to
into
do
the
the
graphics
graphics
card,
card, right?
It's the graphics card. It's like the
Right,
last
the
one
NVIDIA
had
graphics card,
NVIDIA.
they basically can't do that, and they pay, unless they pay a royalty
And I
to
think
NVIDIA.
we'll see downloadable patches for
I'm
popular
sure we'll see
Xbox.
downloadable patches.
The thing is that, I think the current gen Xbox games like Half-Life 2, it's interesting Microsoft showed all this current Xbox stuff. Sony didn't show any PS2 stuff really besides Final Fantasy 12 at their press conference. Microsoft had to show all this Xbox stuff because everyone was saying they're abandoning their platform. I think the stuff looks good, but if anything, they're enticing Xbox owners to just keep playing Xbox One this holiday season and not upgrade.
I agree completely.
He called it Xbox One. Isn't that funny? Like, what do you call it? Original Xbox. Now you have to call it that. Yeah, I think I actually played... Now, Lords of the Fallen, was that game that came out many, many years ago? Like, gosh, maybe almost like 10 years now? Because there was one that I played... Because they made a new one, right? A relatively new one. But that first one was not great. Actually, I rented it from GameFly.
I think the other thing is that as we're going to sort of be discussing in a moment, the Xbox seems to be reaching the height of its capabilities right now. Was this the right time to be moving on?
Don't forget,
We're still being surprised though by the PlayStation. I wonder if the Xbox is really
Right, okay, that's what I thought,
No,
yeah.
God of War didn't
Okay.
happen
It's
until what?
time for it to move on.
God of War
Is it?
happened
Yeah.
6 years into cycle. Like,
Right.
No,
who knows what
exactly.
Halo 3 would look like on the Xbox One? They
That
probably
makes
shouldn't
I
have.
sense.
definitely think the original Xbox has legs left. I mean, I don't think anybody has a doubt about
That
that.
Liza P
they've
destroyed.
proved that
Yep.
they're best with online service and multiplayer gaming, and there's still a lot of territory to explore.
Liza
there,
P was
with
very
the
good.
first Xbox.
Well, we got
I'm
about,
not quite
4 months left to find out.
in love with it as you are, but it's a great game.
Everyone's showing these games.
No doubt about that.
For the next generation systems.
And
Great
they're
game.
gorgeous.
They're gorgeous, but most people only have standard def TVs.
Right, and we're even losing, like, for people at home, like,
Maybe
we're
the second
losing
best
some of the,
Souls-like.
We got TVs on these big, huge,
Well, third best technically, because
Right.
Neo 1 and 2,
Games
but
still look good.
Are the systems, technologically, are they outstripping what people actually have in their homes right now to play games?
I'm
on?
curious what that
I
new
think
game
that
from
while
the
the
Ashen
obvious
developers is
business
going to
with
be
Wire
like.
Bay is talking about HD can start to alienate people from wanting to put down the extra cash for the new console.
Well, I think it might even, they're getting cheaper. It might drive some people to pick up the console. Because right now, you can watch HD TV, a few stations. You can watch, like, PBS, like a
Right.
sports station. You might start getting a reason to put down the
Excellent
money.
point. I agree. I think video games are going to drive HD TV, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, Microsoft's motto this year is speak softly and carry.
Video games driving HD TV. That's an interesting thought. I think there's some truth to that. Video games sort of spearheading. That's interesting. I mean, obviously, like sports. I think a lot of people love sports. They want to watch sports on a fancy new HD TV, but
A big next-gen console, except by softly, they mean frequently. We've got more from the House of Gates when we come back.
Don't blow your wad. Load. This commercial again.
Level 3 and need to tighten up the graphics.
Software.
Seen it. Oh my god, did you hear that? In the song, they used the original Star Wars sound effect. Hold on. The whoop 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 whoop. That's from the original Star Wars.
Welcome back to E305 Live, the show that saved a front row press conference seat just for you.
Aww.
If you're just joining us, we've been talking about Microsoft, but more importantly, Microsoft has been talking about Microsoft.
Today, we're poised to make the leap.
Seen it.
They were talking
Perfect
about,
Dark.
I was feeling increasingly alienated the more they talked. So I'm like, this isn't interesting. But then I started to question, does it sound more pandering and patronizing than actually useful and appealing to that age
You've got to have a
demographic they're
foundation
going
of
to?
great games. You can augment it with some of the
Yeah.
stuff, but when you're talking about that, it's like 20 minutes of your press conference is all about these services
And that's
and all
because
this
they know
stuff.
they're not going to win on the hardware
Right.
side, so they're trying to win on the marketing side, and they're trying to, I hope that they don't alienate their hardcore gamer while they're trying to get the wives and the girlfriends.
A billion gamers.
They
You know what's
they need to
ironic?
focus on the hardcore gamers, and
Is that like normally they're correct. Stop focusing on all these extraneous superfluous services, but like one of the big strengths of 360 was having such a robust online infrastructure. Yeah, you had to pay for it, which we later learned, but like they really paved the way for that.
then try and pick up some of like the sisters and the girlfriends and the moms, and that's what seems to be what they're going
It's
for
a great
right now.
service if they offer compelling downloadable content,
Which they
as
do.
part of
Right.
this,
A
as well
movie
as just
trailer is not going to be that compelling.
Exactly, or just an S for my shirt or something. Not that
A
much,
micropayment for a Mark Echo shirt, again, not compelling. And I don't think Velocity Girl has the knowledge to build a skate park that I care to pay for. If she's never even picked up a controller, I
Right.
think I'd be neglecting that as well.
It's a very odd thing because what they describe was kind of this off in the future, it's like some utopia,
It's like the
but they
cyber
showed
world.
nothing practical that would make me go, oh, I get it. And the more they talked, and of course, their press conferences tend to be very scripted, very rehearsed. And the more they talked and said things that didn't make any sense to me, the more bizarre the entire thing became. Like that audience that we need to discuss right now. There
They're
we go.
not the audience that they were going for. Like
Right.
the hardcore gamer, the person
But aren't
who's really
hardcore
interested
people
in
the
games.
early adopters for systems? That's
Well,
what I just
and that's the
don't
thing.
get.
They were talking about the three different types of people. Two of those types were more hardcore. There was the hardcore gamer, the stinger or stringer or striker.
Yeah, it
whatever.
is interesting,
and there was
right?
the geek guy who was into gadgets. Neither of them had any compelling reason to go out and grab the
Maybe
360
they
after
think
that
they
press
already
conference.
have that audience.
Like, one of the
with
360's
the
biggest
hardcore,
strengths-
and now they have to get the new one.
I think the original Xbox actually, they've told me they think
It's something
too
that
hardcore,
is
and
perceived
they
as a
broaden
weakness in the
base.
beginning.
That's how they think they're going to beat
It's too
Sony.
hardcore.
Right.
What does that mean?
Understandably.
They launched their Halo 2 as a groundbreaking and record-breaking. That was on the original
They
Xbox.
want this to be about more than Halo, but I just think is Velocity Girl going to spend, $300-400 on a system?
I
that's launching
think the
this
cart
holiday
is
season?
well in front of the horse on all of it. They need to get them in with
And
the
you got to
game.
pay for your online play. Let's talk about that. I mean, Xbox Live Gold.
It's
Yes,
a
that
level
is
of
true.
service.
But you know
that
what?
you get for free.
If you want to play anything, though. You got
It was bold, man. It was bold, charging a service, and it got a lot of shit. It was like, what? You're going to charge me for this? But, the service was good. And, of course, you can't forget about the indie revolution. 360 was home to the indie revolution, which is like one of the most exciting time periods in gaming because all of a sudden you had indie games that could compete with AAA games. You had Braid, you had Castle Crashers, Shadow Complex, Fez, Limbo. I mean,
Don't even think of letting that ass indent in your couch fill back in, because we'll be back shortly with a look at the titles that will be launching, or at least coming out sometime
and also you hear this music, it's very hip-hop hooray.
after the launch of the Xbox 360. Come back or receive a sternly worded letter from me and forever.
I think they're sampling hip-hop hooray. Hip-hop hooray! Oh, hey!
Area 51.
Here it
The
is.
secret out. Game Informer calls it one incredible shooter.
Seen it.
Treasure.
Seen it. Oh, wait a second, guys. I was thinking to myself right when I started the stream, are we gonna see Tommy Tallarico? And I didn't think we were gonna. But yo, A wild Tommy Tallarico has appeared. Hello, Zombie TV. You're just in time for Tommy Tallarico. Over on YouTube. Hello. I'm also on Twitch.
PG-13. Catherine, wait.
All right.
Leave me alone. I'm not worthy of you.
It is I that am not worthy of you.
How can you say that?
How's it going, Zombie?
Edward, you have been nothing but honorable.
Sorry for the mic being bad.
My whole life. Catherine, I love you. I've always loved you.
Oh, Reggie.
Dude, so like like half of the commercials we've seen for products were basically like, buy this product and it'll get you laid. It's ridiculous. Oh, thank you. I'm not using my good mic right now for reasons, but I appreciate that. I'm doing well. Welcome. Okay, everybody. It's Tommy Tallarico time. You guys ready?
Buried Treasure is brought to you by EB Games.
No.
There he is. There he is. So this is how you get women. It's true. Like, they were trying to sell like a toothpaste thing that was like, yeah, we'll let you get women. And then now this.
Now, yes. Aha. Now here is a buried treasure. This is Gladiator Sword of Vengeance. Now this game came out on a PC, it came out on the Xbox, it came out on the PlayStation 2. It was a mature rated title. But let me tell you, here's one that was completely overlooked. You play a gladiator, and at first you start off in the arenas, and you're using like these sword things to chop people out.
Sword
really
things.
fun, but not so crazy that it's like grotesque. It's entertaining, is what it is. But then you realize there's whole like magic thing that's going on behind the scenes. If you like games like Devil May Cry or
I gotta say, like, I think H-Bomber Guy's best video he's ever done is the one about Tommy Tallarico.
Rygar, you're gonna love this one. Gladiator, $4.99. This is under $5. Can you believe this?
Sword thing, right? You know, sword things. What is a sword thing?
Gladiator Sword of Vengeance. Pick this one up, please.
Check out this and other buried treasures at EB Games. No cash,
no problem.
G4 live at E3.
Believe it or not, I'm watching E3.
Don't copyright strike me, please.
I never thought I did it so easily.
Sounds like Jack Black.
Watching G4 in my beat-up chair. What will I see? Believe it or not, it's E3.
Well, there goes a DMCA.
Dark.
G-Spot.
Darker. Dark.
Did they have a show called G-Spot?
Put on your infrareds as Cinematech gives us an exclusive first look at next-gen sci-fi noir Dark Sector.
I remember that game.
Find the G-Spot every weeknight starting at 10.
Oh my god, find the G-Spot. Yo, check out that controller, though. So if you see E3, you'd be dancing and singing. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. You can't see it, but we're here, but that's what I'm doing.
It's E305 Live, and this is your ticket to red hot press conference action.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, we're here.
Did you
at
ever
E3,
watch
the
G4
Electronic Entertainment
TV,
Expo,
Zombie?
And we'll be bringing you live E3 coverage all week long at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So now, for those of you who don't know, this is the biggest event in the video game industry, and every year it kicks off with massive
Rip.
press conferences held by the big three: Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. And if Microsoft feels they're on shaky ground after throwing their Xbox 360 cards on the table last week, they aren't showing it. Here are some of the games Microsoft hopes you'll be aching to slip into your 360.
Tom
we've
Clancy's
seen
Ghost
this.
Recon 3 drops you in urban warfare
Oh, really?
at its most intense.
You might
and
be
chaotic.
younger. Yeah, this is an old show from the
are a
early
soldier
2000s.
Of the future.
The president is
Dude, I will say Ghost Recon 3, I played the hell out of. That game is so fun. This game rules. Seen it.
Destroy.
Velocity Girl's gonna really love Gears of War.
It's an interesting contradiction right there. But yeah.
No, I think that looks good. All three of those
You
games.
guys
I think,
ever play
look
Ghost Recon?
fantastic,
Right.
And they're the kind of games look great. I mean, they don't. To me, Gears of War looks great. Something like Killzone obviously looks like a step beyond that. But Gears of War is going to be playable here, and people will actually be able to put their hands on it, running on a PC. But it's going to be.
Look, there's
impressive.
Jeff
And
Keighley.
in these demos, I think I'm more apt.
Oh,
to
from
believe
Ireland.
for
Welcome.
real-time,
I love when we get
game
people
renderers, being used instead of any like CGI tricks. Maybe a
Even
couple here and there, but
From anywhere
Xbox hardware
besides
is
where
so
I'm
less-
at.
So much less impressive than the PS3 hardware.
Well, if you look at like Ghost Recon 3, while it did look impressive, the environments themselves, like some of the textures were kind of bland. There wasn't really complex geometry.
It was a
going on.
fun show.
And I'm not slighting the game at all. 'Cause
It was
it does look
cringy.
beautiful, and I am excited to play it. But I don't think it's so far off what the hardware could do. Whereas I do think like a Killzone again,
Right.
it's got to be pre-rendered.
Are we
This is
seeing
from
an example
2005.
here of Sony throwing up some brilliant smoke and mirrors, and are Microsoft lagging behind?
Oh, Frosty is on YouTube there. Aching to slip into your 360. I caught that one too. I know. Everything has to be like sexual. I swear to God. And look at that shirt, dude. That is so 2005 shirt.
Well, but Microsoft should know this is coming.
That's $65,000 question right there. But I have
Well,
to
what's
say,
the answer?
I
Mike.
said that Elder Scrolls 4 was the one I was most excited to see
Microphone.
coming in. I'm still very excited, though, between that and Ghost Recon. And there's quite a few other Microsoft games. The Bloom effect, that kind of like almost soft-focused, nostalgic golden sheen is getting way overused. And I'm beginning to wonder, is that also used to kind of disguise a few things
Microphone.
that are in the
The
background?
Vaseline on the
I
lens.
mean, Ghost Recon.
That's how my
was
eyes
supposed to
work
be a
now,
gritty,
actually.
futuristic urban warfare game. It felt like it was nostalgic for gritty, futuristic urban
Gritty
warfare.
is Killzone.
a little more
Keely's
brightly
dressed like an
lit,
NPC.
exactly, than we're used to for that kind of game. I mean, I'm
I could
hoping
see
for a
it.
bigger console leap. I'm less jaded than you guys, maybe.
And Sessler looks like he's about to go bowling with that shirt. I mean, yeah, this is before Keighley would like put on his fancy shoes and his blazer.
But if you're thinking, I bet when they get back from commercial, they'll talk about Nintendo, you'd be right, but off by about 10 minutes. More Microsoft ooze and ahs when the Magic Box
More Microsoft ooze.
conjures us up again.
No, I'm too jaded.
Jaded, really?
Quake 4. Remember that game called Gun? Alright, commercial time. Oh shit, do we get a sub? Do we get a follow? Do we get a follow? Hold on. I think I saw something. My alert didn't sound in my head. Was that a follow from Zombie? I think it was. Hold on a second. I think it was. Thank you. I believe that was a follow from Zombie TV. Hold on. Alright, I think I fixed it. Yo, let's go, Zombie TV. Appreciate it. After the stream, I'll, oops, check out your channel. Alright, let's go.
Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, out now for Xbox and PlayStation 2, rated D10 for ages 10 and up.
What do you think she learned to shoot like that?
They are the world's most deadly assassins.
What, are you looking for a job or something?
You are the job. Their identities are a secret, even
Oh my God.
from each other.
She tried to kill me. They all tried to kill you. Slowly, painfully, cripplingly.
You still alive, baby?
I'm gonna borrow this.
I like where your head's at.
Brad Pitt.
Come to daddy.
Angelina Jolie.
Who's your daddy now?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Rated PG-13. June 10th.
Never seen it.
These guys, they're a pretty good crew. Everybody listen up. This is
Is this another, like, army commercial?
Levon. Hey, Levon, I'm Winty. You're on the 120
Air
today.
Force.
How are you? So if there's anything you need, just ask these guys. They'll take care of it, all right?
Okay.
Welcome aboard. Thank you. You ever been around anything this fast before?
So many Army commercials.
In my last job.
Oops, all Army, right? One of them was for Marines, though.
What you doing? I do.
You like bath time, don't you?
Uh-oh.
We're gonna get you nice and clean. Now, can you tell me how old you are?
I don't like where this is going.
22.
Yes, you are.
How dirty boys get clean.
Oh my god, Axe. I think this is when, like, Axe was first coming out. Like, cause, like, Axe is a relatively new product, relatively speaking, so I think this is, like...
New Axe shower gel.
And you know what? I appreciate that they're, like, not messing around. Like, yeah, this is all about selling sex. Also, might be a hot take, but, Cook's peanut butter is better than the caramel.
Hey, look like somebody we know. Hi, I'm Boss Harris. I run this place with an iron fist, cheap suits, and really bad breath. I've got the
Nice.
IQ of a fruit bat and anger issues.
Totally, man. Harris is a complete... Mr. Harris.
A complete what?
Need a moment?
This reminds me of the Snickers commercials. The new ones.
Chew it over with Twix.
Alright, Nintendo time.
All right, GeForce TV's E305 Live is in full swing, and if you're just joining us, well, then you
Look at that in the background. It says N-Gage. Remember the frickin' N-Gage?
missed out on a lot of, well, underwhelming Microsoft news. But luckily, there's still some more left, so you're not totally in the dark. Here's the grand finale from Gates & Company as they roll out even more games for their Xbox 360.
Oh, okay, still more.
Now, at its core, Xbox 360.
Seen it.
As with Perfect
What, the big issue?
Go back.
To go and spend another, what, $300 or $400 to go buy myself a new Xbox? Like, I feel like, you know what, I got an Xbox, it can do that, I'm cool.
I feel like it's going to be good hardware. I thought what we saw with DOA 4, it's not that big of a leap over DOA 3.
Keep in mind,
but
this is before the price was revealed to be $600 for the PS3.
I don't know if it's just a case, again, like I said before, of Microsoft being more realistic than Sony is. Is Sony kind of blowing it up?
Also, they just made some horrible strategic mistakes in that press conference. They put Dead or Alive pretty front and center, and that was the least impressive in terms of advancement over all the other games.
Where was Gears of War? Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Gears of War.
Counterpoint, it has
Only
boob
one
jiggle
I found
physics.
just outrageous with Project Gotham Racing 2. This one has been talked up so much. Oh, excuse me, 3. This one has been so talked up by them, and we all believed it to be one of the
And
most
it's a launch
impressive titles.
title. Yeah.
And I do not believe for a second that was gameplay that I was looking at. That was, I mean, it's now becoming conspicuous by its absence, as with Perfect Dark
The
Zero.
big issue that Microsoft will not, tell everyone, they'll probably finally admit, is that, a lot of these games are running on alpha kits, which is, stuff that is not necessarily representative of the final hardware. So they're here at E3 trying to show games. That's why, some of these games are running at low frame rates. And
to be fair, I mean, that's what all of the companies do. I mean, that's what you have to do when you're developing these games.
I will say with Keeley, that dude frickin' does not age. Like, this is from 2005.
Take a step back, and Tal, I'm going to pose this to you. I'm curious. Because if we take a step back and look at Microsoft's overall vision of what they want to do with bridging not just the hardcore, but, the softcore gamer and the moms with the video chat, and the Xbox arcade, are you buying their vision of the future?
Well, to be honest, I'm not a person who's really into one of those all-encompassing machines. I think if I want to buy a gaming machine, I want to buy a gaming machine. I want something that's dedicated to that task. I don't want a toaster. I don't want something that can make pasta as well as play my video game on.
How are you going to have Cafe Press online if you don't have an Xbox 360?
I want your store to open more. Make some shirts.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some T-shirts and skate parks in my spare time.
But that is a big deal. People with like The Sims and other games. If you look at Second Life, people.
By the way, this is for the follow from Zombie TV.
Thank you. People are all into making their own content. Maybe that will be a large draw. It won't. Either of us could care less, but maybe that will be a huge draw.
But you've got to get the hardcore first, and that's the most important.
Well, again, also they've got to clarify their message. Their message seems to be all over the place, and no one knows if they're supposed to be talking to them or
It's
not.
like wearing a sweat hoodie
really
and a sport coat.
And a sport coat at the same time.
It's a little confused.
I'm not so negative on
on the marketplace stuff, because I think it really does put tools in the user's hands to be able to do stuff that maybe like you have on the PC with the mod communities
No
to
problem.
really have some cool content. Right now, we're just kind of thinking like, oh, here's going to be stripes on your shoes. Here's going to be a new T-shirt. Look at the Sims on the PC. I mean, girls certainly love to make things for the Sims on PC. So will that
Looking
transfer?
at me when you're saying that. I don't play
But
The
also,
Sims.
but they didn't pay $300+ to play Sims on the PC. That's the problem. Is that
Right.
there's first is that threshold of how much the console costs.
Well, they're hoping to get it in there when like someone's gonna pay $300 to play Halo 5, and then they're gonna get their girlfriend hooked. It's gonna be great.
I think the big point here too, though, as Jeff pointed out, is we're going to be able to play Xbox 360 at this show. We're not going to be able to play PS3,
And
or
one
at least
thing-
in a very
That's true.
limited
360 beat him
And
to the
one thing that
market.
no one's really mentioned, which it's a big deal to me, Jeff Minter doing the visuals.
Right.
Come on now.
Shout out to Jeff Minter. It's kind of crazy that thing they recently released. It was like a Jeff Minter collection. Did you guys see that? I think it was Digital Eclipse too. The same people who did the Atari 50.
stuff.
Love
And
the
one game that's
Lava
missing, though, last night was
Where's
Perfect Dark Zero.
Dark
Yeah.
Zero?
Joanna. So it's hyped up. It's supposed to be a launch title. We didn't see it last night.
Where's Perfect Dark? Oh, 20 years ago, they're saying the same thing we're saying now.
Apparently, maybe in a back room here.
I wasn't missing
This
it.
is
I don't know
the
about you
Achilles
guys.
heel of Microsoft right now.
So
That
I
game
I
was
think they
supposed to be
saw
the
it.
big one.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and what about Halo 2.5? Lots of buzz about what that was going to be. We didn't hear any Halo news last night.
I think
no
that
Halo
was
3 news.
hoping. I don't know if it was necessarily
Yeah.
rumor, but we were hoping.
Big Billy G said they're going to release, Halo 3 up against the launch of the PS3.
He just called him Big Billy G. This is what he called. I assume he's talking about Bill Gates. He just called him Big Billy G. Literally the only person ever to refer to Bill Gates as Big Billy G.
But I don't.
I love it.
A little too late, unfortunately, and it hurts. It pains me to say that against Halo. I mean, I love my Halo.
And I think it's also we're saying that
Me
none
too.
of us here actually wanted Microsoft to stagger as it seems to
No.
be doing right now. That I had great hopes for the 360.
So do you stream
I left
Zombie
the press
TV? What
conference
kind of stuff do you
almost a little
stream?
Sad. I wanted to see them make a great case for it, and I left confused.
And
I was a little embarrassed.
I still play my Xbox every single day. I still think it's one of the favorite, my favorite console. It's definitely got, if I'm doing a comparison between the three consoles, I'm
Here comes the terrible music.
going to play a game that's on the Xbox.
All right, well, we'll see if you're actually going to end up playing a 360 or not in the future.
True.
All right, were you planning on going somewhere? Because a quaint Japanese company called Nintendo would like to sell you a Revolution. When we come back, let's just hope it's not purple and shaped like a lunchbox.
Oh, burn on the game. Cube, the revolution. Yeah, we've seen this commercial.
Let's count sand.
Now for your free trial. Rated.
Give me this. Give me this gun. No, this is mine.
All different games. Oh, that's cool. Me too.
Gotta have sweet, gotta have new, longer lasting.
Rusty's like,
juicy.
damn.
Frenzied, twisted, hybrid games. You turn it, it turns you. It's Twisted. WarioWare Twisted, only for Game Boy Advance.
WarioWare Twisted. Marines again. Dude, what is up with all this?
The passage is intense. But if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors.
It's true. I mean, you don't mess with the Marines.
The proud, the Marines.
You're watching E305 Live, brought to you by Jeep.
I wonder if the Marines are considered like the top elite. Because I mean, what you got? Green Berets, you got Navy SEAL. I wonder what is like truly the hardest to be. Like Navy SEAL, Marine, Green Beret. What else?
All right, welcome back to E305
Nintendo
Live,
time.
the show that brings you the sheer exhilaration of press conferences. Whoopee! But it's without the discomfort of sitting in a rickety folding chair for 2
Saki,
hours.
do you think they're gonna
Next
baby
time,
Nintendo
you
again?
Your multi-million-dollar next-gen consoles, pony up for cushions, people. No one wants to play the PS3 while sitting on an inflatable donut, except for people with a few problems. So far, we've seen the Xbox 360 from Microsoft
He's talking about
and
hemorrhoids.
the PS3 from Sony. But what about Nintendo? Are they opting out of the next console cycle? Oh, sweet Christmas, no. Nintendo has a little something called the Revolution.
Revolution.
If you thought it was going to be a VR helmet, you're special. And you're very, very wrong.
Ouch.
And now you say you want a revolution.
You say you want a revolution.
Well, we've got one. Clearly, Revolution is by far the smallest console we've ever manufactured.
The smallest console, that's a selling point. Anyway, we saw this. Oops.
Why not?
Ah! Sorry.
You will be able to purchase great games originally created.
Oh, you can buy the same games that you've been buying for 30 to 40 years again and again. We're Nintendo. We're gonna sell you the same games.
For NES, Super NES, and Nintendo 64. The idea of a single device transporting us back to the first Excitebike, Earthbound, or Punch-Out should make us all feel...
You know what? Why don't they make a new Punch-Out game? Like, for real. I think... Do you think a new Punch-Out game would sell? I think it would. I don't understand Nintendo, dude. Like, they don't make new Donkey Kong Country games. They don't make new Punch-Out games. They don't make new F-Zero games. They don't make Kid Icarus. They ignore all these great IPs. And yet they just keep making more Kirby's and more Mario and Luigi's and more Mario Parties. Like, it's frustrating, man.
Feel young again. At least for a while.
Well, okay, so it's a black
Here comes the haters, the haterade.
box. Jeff, Revolution or Revulsion?
Oh.
Ouch.
Oh.
No, I think, Nintendo, they haven't told us a lot about it. That's the thing is they're keeping it secret, so it's like it's a black box. And it's like it's going to be innovative. And, for Revolution, we haven't really heard what's revolutionary about. I like the idea of backwards compatibility, the idea of all the classic games, wireless controllers.
Yes, right.
My question is, are you going to get a wireless light gun so I can play, Duck Hunt, which is
bet
one of my
that.
favorites.
You know what? Why not? Like, I'm sure that you'll be able to do that. I was really excited, as everybody was. You heard the applause when they announced that you'd be able to download from the internet Nintendo.
I'm gonna go grab an energy drink real quick. Let's see if my beer... Those words. You can't disprove that I am not the smartest man in the world. Stay. Stop with the yoga bullshit. Yoga this, asshole. Yeah, you wanna cheese it? I could cheese it too, you son of a bitch. How does it feel, huh? How does it feel, jerk? Doesn't feel good, does it? No, I don't think it does feel good, does it? Yeah, it doesn't feel good, huh? Oh, shit! No! Don't hurt me! For you, Frosty. Enjoy. Oops, didn't mean to press that button. Oh! No! No!
Says sweepstakes, May 8th through May 21st.
Oh no, my video started over. What? Why did it do that? What the heck? Why did it do that? Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Did we say the best of back when it went from the Nintendo Entertainment?
You want to have a device
But, you know,
just for that.
if you know the old market.
I mean,
It's
I think we saw the.
it gave me that.
You must save the.
I mean, come on.
Sorry, trying to find it. It like it reset on me.
Over them, but it did sweep the
Goes back perfectly to
when so.
Right.
Well, 2 years ago, I believe.
Thing at Secret, so
Sorry.
it's like it's a black box, and it's like it's going to be innovative, and for
Okay,
revolutionary.
okay, we're
we haven't
back.
really heard what's revolutionary, but I like the idea of backwards compatibility, the idea of all the classic games, wireless controllers.
right.
My question is, are you going to get a wireless light gun so I can play Duck Hunt, which is
bet
one of my
that.
favorites?
You know what?
so.
Why not? Like, I'm sure that you'll be able to do that. I was really excited, as everybody was. You heard the applause when they announced that you'd be able to download from the internet Nintendo games from back in the day.
Nintendo realizes there's an internet now, and I think that itself is a revolution. Making some right steps.
And it is Wi-Fi compatible right out of the box,
Right.
which is nice.
Nintendo realizes
DVD,
their
which I thought
internet.
was interesting is like they talked about how we play DVDs, but then you have to buy an attachment.
attachment.
if you want to play
Yeah,
regular
they
DVD.
all
They're
do
kind of a
that
generation
stuff,
behind.
though.
They're still doing that. I think the thing is okay. So they're not going to show us any games. When do they plan to show it to us, and do they think we're actually paying attention? I mean, there are two big console launches looming in the future.
Right.
This was really, I think, the time they had to say, look at this, get excited about it, get talking about it. Nintendo always seems to be so hesitant, and they shoot themselves in the foot. And I think this is
Are
yet
they
again another
hesitating,
example.
or do they really not have anything to show just yet? That's the question.
Well, they showed them. There was that Metroid Prime video that they showed, which kind of met
That
with
was next gen?
lukewarm. Well, I don't know. It's sort of something.
Metroid
suggesting-
Prime.
I don't mean that to be.
It's like it was a very lukewarm
It
reaction
was-
at the conference.
But it was because it was vague. They didn't tell you what
Right.
it was. They're just like, and here's Metroid, and everyone's like, yay.
And
we like
Nintendo has always
Metroid.
been the most tight-lipped of the three, the three big ones. So.
Right.
Do you play Elden Ring Zombie
I believe
TV?
2 years ago, Iwata-san,
Or Souls games?
very contrite, unusually contrite in front of the audience, acknowledging that there had been a problem with the launch of the GameCube and they did not reach the number of people, and said right there they were not going to be behind this time round.
So what do they?
They are behind.
Yeah,
and
so-
that's just,
yeah.
it's just clear.
So what do they have then? That if they're trying not to be behind, they didn't really bring anything to the
And
table.
one thing they might do is they might, it sounds like they're kind of trying to really differentiate themselves from Sony and Microsoft. This box, it seems
Right.
smaller. I can't imagine it's going to be as powerful as the PS3 or the Xbox 360. Maybe it'll be cheaper. They could come out with a box that's only $199 when they launch it.
It's a perfect, and they've always kind of focused on games that are a little bit more innovative, not necessarily as graphics heavy.
Nintendo also has a rabid fan base. Go to the IGN message board
man.
to find that out immediately. And they're going to pick it up on day
Yep,
one. Hear from
he's
them
got a
all.
point.
Two things I think are important. One, their main feature right now is something that a $20 mod chip for an Xbox can get you, and that's the entire back catalog. Sorry, it had to be said. Number two, who should really trust Nintendo when they haven't really dipped their toe into the online?
Never
pool
tried
yet?
them out?
Now,
They're really fun. They're very hard, but I recommend trying. Liza P. Wait, where'd that come from, Saki Day?
believe them when they say that they're going to have the infrastructure and that GameSpy for the
Why
PS,
you say
and
Liza
then you'll
P?
be able to download these games online. But have they proven any of that in the past? They're all of a sudden saying the internet's a big deal when just a few years ago it was all about the local experience. What happened?
Well, this goes back perfectly to why I think that behind closed doors they really do try to aim to be the perfect second console. Because with the other two, you're going to get that built-in Wi-Fi, and the internet experience. This is what people buy Nintendo for. It's the quality of those games. I'm almost wondering if they should give up on trying to go bigger and just hone in on what they do so well and using that incredible library to create good games every year.
Hey, and what about the controller? I mean, we haven't even seen that yet, Is it touch screen or black box?
Oh my god, really, Saki? Oh no, that was so long ago. Oh. Well, chat has been very quiet, really, so you didn't miss much. We got a new viewer, Zombie TV, over on YouTube.
Yeah, touchscreen control. I mean, the controller I'm not that worried about. How different is it really going to be? Do you think they're
I
going to
don't
come
know.
out with this wildly different...
Yes, they will, Morgan Webb. That's the whole gimmick, is the controller.
They're not showing it.
Yes,
That's why they're Nintendo. Nintendo always comes out with wildly
Oh.
different controllers. Be a believer.
Now, what about the third-party support, or lack thereof?
Third-party support. That ship has sailed a long time ago. The N64 was the system that really took Nintendo out of the third-party sector. And a lot of it is because they went to cartridge.
we care
Yes,
anymore?
well,
Because
I don't
is
think
it
they're
really
showing
all
up.
about the franchise?
It is crazy to think about because with Nintendo, like during the NES and Super Nintendo days, like they were so big that third parties had to be on their systems. But third parties didn't like Nintendo. Like Nintendo was notorious for not playing well with others. They'd have all these crazy rules and just like they just didn't play well with others. So like the N64 was the perfect excuse for all these third-party developers like Square to jump ship. And boy, they did it. They did it. Also released late, yeah.
But when we come back, all the fun of the Nintendo press conference without the smell of desperation. Oof. When E305 Live continues.
Oof.
Good
Oof.
question, though, Brad. We'll have to-
Yeah, Nintendo, like, they shot themselves in the foot.
Area 51, the secret is
So
out.
bad.
Game Informer calls it one incredible shooter. Incredible shooter. Electronic Gaming Monthly declares it could be your next.
Yeah, and I'm late.
Wait, I want to see that commercial.
We'll bring him to the screen. I want to say hello to him.
You don't know where he is?
You're pretty.
Waiting long?
Yeah, and I'm late.
No car, huh?
Bad credit.
I got a car. Hey, I can't get financing. Sure you can. It's easy. Just call 1-800-BAR-NONE. If you need car financing, even if you have bad credit, 1-800-BAR-NONE could get you approved in minutes. 1-800-BAR-NONE? You can? I am? Really? Scintillating. Need a car? Call 1-800-BAR-NONE. Everyone deserves a second chance, bar none. Call now.
Buried Treasure is brought to you by EB Games.
Tommy Talarico?
Now here's a game that was developed
Tommy! Tommy!
over in Europe by Sega for the PlayStation 2. It was called Headhunter, right? Now, Headhunter kind of combined Resident Evil with like Metal Gear
Tommy!
Solid. It kind of had some Splinter Cell elements in there as well. But the real story was Headhunter was actually the soundtrack. It's one of the greatest video game soundtracks
And you composed it, didn't you, Tommy?
ever written, in my opinion. It's done by Richard Jakes, big live orchestra. It was an extremely cinematic soundtrack. You could even play a girl in this game as well, so you could switch characters. You could get on a motorcycle.
You could even play a girl.
So if you like games like Splinter Cell, Resident Evil, and Metal Gear Solid, you might want to check this one out. It's not as great as those games, but still very much worth your attention. I'm talking about Headhunter for the PlayStation 2.
I actually kind of like these short commercials. Like, I don't know. Who knows if these games are actually good, but in theory, these commercials are kind of a good idea, right?
Check out this and other buried treasures at EB Games. No cash, no problem.
Frustrated.
Out there.
Live coverage of the Electronic Entertainment Expo at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. But right now, we can hear the Nintendo fanboys out there. They're on their knees. They're begging, please, sir.
Please, sir, don't blow my load.
May I have some more? Why, certainly. Last year at the Nintendo press conference, Reggie Fils-Aimé claimed that in 2005, Nintendo was going to be kicking ass and taking names. Now, if by kicking ass you mean trying to find the DS stylus I keep losing while everyone else is playing the PSP, then hey, mission accomplished.
Everyone else is playing the PSP. That didn't age well.
So what will Nintendo be doing in the ass-kicking department this year? Well, why don't we let Reggie and legendary creator Miyamoto-san explain it to you.
The launch of Nintendogs was...
She's a
Seen it.
girl. I named her. And that.
It's actually super fun. I don't know if it's a killer app, but it is.
I'm not gonna lie, I owned Nintendogs. At least one of the versions.
Nintendo likes small, and they like collectibles, and they like Pokemon, and that kind of fits all three of their criteria.
And the Tamagotchi thing, that did kind of sweep the States. Like, it was much bigger in Japan. People were obsessing over them, but it did sweep the States, and it's cute enough.
And Microsoft talks about trying to get 1 billion gamers.
I have a confession.
Yeah.
I killed my friend's
Velocity Girl,
Tamagotchi.
Look at Nintendogs. That to me is something that's much more likely to attract a broader audience.
Murdered
It's a
it.
game, that has mass appeal.
Right,
Not all
but-
this other stuff.
but
about
can the 360
Everyone
handle
likes
it?
puppies.
Well,
That's
you know,
the question.
well, let's
Who
look
doesn't
at it.
like puppies?
Let's look at it too, especially in Japan. You know, maybe you don't have enough space to have a real dog. This actually acts very similarly to a real dog.
See, that's the thing, is that this is very indicative of what Nintendo does. They do stuff, now it's fine. It's very much developed for a Japanese audience, exactly for the reason that most people can't seem to have dogs. We've seen other games in Japan that do that.
Kill
But
Nintendo
Nintendo
dogs.
seems to have this, they're convinced that if it's good for Japan, it'll be equally as good in the U.S. This is why we have a purple box for a console
Well,
called the GameCube.
I think-
I think it's fine to release it, but they put as
I
much
did.
stuff
I was over
behind
his
it, and it's
house,
so misguided.
and he really loved that
They're
Tamagotchi.
just saying, hey, we have this.
And
maybe
when
let's-
he went
let's
to the
translate it into
bathroom-
English and send it over to America. And
I think that, I mean, let us not forget the Tamagotchi craze was kind of
found
big
it
in
and I
America
killed
for a
it.
while. Like, I really think Nintendogs will cross over, and I wasn't kidding. Like, I'm looking forward to it. It's the first interesting use of a stylus.
I
and
confess my
microphone
sins,
that I've seen
Father.
on the DS.
I'm very happy with the idea of
But
it as a
localizing
game.
content, that's a great
Yeah.
point, because I think, when I met with Reggie at GDC, he was telling me
Not
about
proud
the
of it, but I did it.
dogs in the game and do some other things to sort of make it more
Celebrity
local.
dogs?
Yeah.
Is it like
Stone
Trial
Cold
Terror?
Killer. I know.
And make it more.
And I was efficient too.
Yeah.
I wasted no time.
Because that's the thing is, like
No.
Electroplankton was another DS game, which was kind of interesting. It's a DJ game.
I did everything
but
I could to
how
make
is that
sure
gonna
it
do in
didn't
the US?
survive.
Is that a killer app?
Well, I think what we're seeing from Nintendo, and that we'll continue to see, is they're always usually the most innovative ones when it comes to software.
Right.
Look who Microsoft turned to when they wanted to get some real innovative software on
It's
their
like a
platform.
Hitman.
They turned to third-party developers, or
They turned
in
to
the
Rare,
case
and
of
look what happened.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
No, but they're good at those sort of games that don't necessarily appeal to the hardcore gamer, like the Zookeeper, the puzzle game. I mean, they didn't do that one, but the Zookeeper, the puzzle game.
Here's a bit of a hot take that I've been saying for a long time. I would like to see Nintendo come out with a system that is equal to or better than, spec-wise, Sony and Microsoft. Because just imagine a system that can play all the third-party games, but also has Nintendo games on it. Like, I don't know. They're never going to do it, but what Nintendo Souls like? Oh my god. Yeah, do Zelda, but Souls? Where you play as Zelda? That would be I think they could do it, because you know what? Like, look at what they did with the open world action RPG genre. They never did that before. And then they come out with their first true open world action RPG, Breath of the Wild, and they freaking nailed it, dude. They nailed it, and they innovated. So I would like to see it. I would really like to see it. And it could be in their art, so it's not like, it's not like dark fantasy, it's more like Zelda fantasy.
They have those kind of games, WarioWare, that aren't necessarily going to appeal to that
WarioWare's
hardcore
a great
audience.
point, yeah,
And
sure.
they're going to bring in a lot of other people.
But just like where we were saying that the Microsoft seems to be too broad in what's trying to say about the 360, look at these mixed signals from Nintendo. They're trying to say, oh, no, we aren't just for kids anymore. And look at almost everything that they showed us. The centerpiece of it was Nintendogs. I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be that way, but they keep us sending these mixed signals, and they're not being
Zelda.
consistent, and they're not backing it up.
Well, and Nintendo needs more software on all their systems. I mean,
Yeah.
they are great first-party developers, and they need to get those titles out there. People are going to buy Nintendo-developed titles.
It's completely
Does
true.
anybody sitting up here believe that Nintendo is going to go after and or capture the
Or a weird one is maybe even with a Metroid. Because, like, the thing about Metroid is, especially the older ones, is Metroid has a great vibe, a very dark sci-fi vibe.
with anything coming out of the DS or the Revolution coming up? I'm just curious.
I think the
They're gonna
Revolution
try.
there's a shot, because we know
Yeah.
nothing about it, so I'm willing to entertain that. But right now, no. I mean, look at Geist. I don't think that's going to do it.
I think a lot of
remember that game?
The software coming up, it's besides Zelda. I mean, who's really, what's being talked about? Zelda is obviously the big one.
Zelda
So-
appeals to all ages.
All right, do you crave more of the Reginator? Because I know I do. When we
Reginator.
come back, Nintendo keeps talking about a revolution. Oh, I meant a Regilution, as it's known on the IGN boards.
Regilution. Okay, we've seen this commercial.
Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition out now for Xbox and PlayStation.
Dub Edition.
Congratulations, you're well into hour 2 of E305 Live, and you can't tear your eyes away from the screen thanks to secret subliminal technology we bought from the Soviets. Or maybe you just really want to know what the hell Nintendo was doing to stay in the console race.
Yeah.
So do we. And we think it has something to do with Zelda.
In Battalion Wars...
Why do they show commercials? I downloaded this from YouTube, Saki, and it came with the commercials in it, which is great, which is super great. I'm actually glad it did. So yeah, this is on YouTube. At least it was. I'm sure it still is. But...
We've combined action, strategy, warfare, and third-person shooting in a novel way. You must save the world by clearing over 20 missions. But guiding the troops has embarks on a whole new adventure, a full-fledged...
There's Zelda.
I just can't wait to play it, and it sounds like it is coming this year, which is fantastic news. And it's nice to have a realistic Link.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been repeating
Mario
them.
is
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have to
Definitely.
say, how many more times can he jump the shark? DDR?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Anybody?
People
Who
like
was there?
baseball, they had it all.
He was popping, he was locking. What's
better
your
than
problem?
Mario
Okay,
Kart.
here's the thing. I grew up on the Master System, which explains a lot of my problems. I don't have the Nintendo nostalgia that a lot of people do, but even
You like
I'm
this
getting
game?
sick and tired of seeing Mario shoehorned into every
The
single
RPG,
franchise
Saki?
Nintendo can.
You don't have to play it. You don't have to play the Mario games if
The
you don't
Mario
want
was
to play
an
the Mario
NBA
games.
Street.
It's more than Sega too, Kevin. It goes well beyond.
Mario was
all the way
NBA
well
Street?
beyond.
Okay.
If I could
What?
just go back to Zelda for 1 second. I'm very excited about the Zelda game, but when, him
Remember when
transforming
Bill Clinton was
into
an
the
NBA
wolf,
champ?
It gave me that slight moment I had when I was playing Halo 2, and suddenly I stopped playing Master Chief. It was that, well, hold on, I'm now, that's so much of what my expectations are built around is doing these things that I'm curious to see how it plays.
It could add,
Oh,
like, a whole
Twilight.
great
Oh, hell yeah.
level
Everybody
of
likes
gameplay that we haven't
Twilight.
really seen before.
So let's
And
talk about the horseback riding. That's gonna. I just
Twilight's
can't
a
wait to
classic.
do that.
that's what everybody's so excited about.
Apparently, you can't have a game like coming out this generation or next gen without.
Although I will say, Twilight Princess, it's a great game, but it actually ranks kind of low for me in the Zelda pantheon because, like, I would put it. Let's see. I would put it below Breath of the Wild. I put it below Tears of the Kingdom. I put it below Link to the Past. I put it below Link Between Worlds. I'd put it below Ocarina, and I might even put it below Minish Cap. That's pushing it. Oh, that's right. I remember that. It's John's favorite because it's the only Zelda he's played. I mean, it's a good one if you're only going to play one Zelda. That's a fine one.
It's the new light balloon. It's the new lens flare.
It's a new car.
You got
Once you get those botted views.
I haven't even Wind Waker, as many people criticize that one.
Mhm.
I've never been disappointed with the Zelda game, and they always seem to add new gameplay elements into the Zelda franchise every time they
Rossetti.
release a new one. And this one, I'm really looking forward to having Lady Hawk the game and playing around with that. That's a compliment.
I think we're skirting the issue here. Seriously, DDR Mario.
Right.
Why not? People like DDR. People want to play DDR. People like Mario. If they want to buy it, that's fine. And people will buy it.
I just love the hate email.
But you know, it does go back to what we were talking about earlier. I mean, it's these mixed messages. I mean, Zelda, okay, that's universal.
I know, right,
But
Saki?
everything else they showed, all it does is reinforce the perception that Nintendo is for a younger generation.
Is
They
it
want to be
really a
edgelord.
mixed message, though? I mean, they've shown games forever and ever that are for kids.
Meanwhile, Wind Waker's
Resident
beautiful.
Evil, and then everyone
who's gonna
freaks
buy
out.
a GameCube now? Instead of buying a PS2 or an
I didn't love Wind Waker because of the water. Like, it was too much water. But you know what? Playing it on the Wii U, DDR Mario was garbage. The Wii U HD Wind Waker, I really loved. Both because it looked fantastic, and it had quality of life upgrades to it. And actually, thank you for bringing up Wind Waker, because I would put that above Twilight as well. So I put like 6 or 7 Zeldas ahead of Twilight, which is crazy because Twilight's really good. But yeah, Wind Waker, let's see. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Link to the Past. Those are top 3 Zelda games. And then I would probably go Link Between Worlds number 4. And I might go Wind Waker number 5. I might put it above Ocarina. I think I'm gonna. because like it's so much, it holds up so well. 1.5 hours.
I certainly.
You're gonna buy it in addition to.
Right,
you're not
anything
gonna
as
buy.
a compliment,
Let's
absolutely.
go.
That's great. And now with the GameCube being so cheap, it makes a lot of
People
sense
are
to buy
snapping
that
up.
just to play Zelda.
Comparing
Tears of
Sony
Breath of
and
the Wild.
Microsoft to
I could see it.
Nintendo's conference. I certainly don't think we saw the breadth.
It's
and
a better
wealth of titles
game,
that we wanted to
but
see
Breath
out
of the
Nintendo
Wild-
that we saw at Sony and Microsoft.
Well, also, I mean, it's
That
like
hits so
just
hard.
Watching that Zelda trailer, I liked it so much better now than I did at the press conference. I was so frustrated, let down, and bored at the end of that press conference that Zelda didn't even get
It's
my
not a
blood
bad
pumping.
list.
I really prefer it right here.
But
Except for
Nintendo can't
Majora's
afford to lose
Mask.
as much money and like really just show as much as the other big companies could do, which is really unfortunate. So when we get to Nintendo's press conference, we're like, "That's all you have? You don't have two top-of-the-line graphics cards
That's
in your
true.
system? You only
Right.
have
But
one?
the DS
What
was a
is
big
this?"
surprise last year. I mean, the DS, I was like, my God, I think you.
And it got great
got
buzz,
me.
but then it's like you look now, it's like it's got
Where's
some
it
good
going?
games, and then
Exactly.
PSP came out, and it's
exactly.
like
Yeah.
you look at the show, how many third parties are doing PSP games now, and some of the biggest franchises out
Again,
there for PSP.
but you almost wonder if Nintendo over-innovates itself and makes
Right.
it so they are the only ones who can develop games for their system,
Right.
and third parties just
Oh,
kind of
no.
left out in the cold.
But let us not forget
Wow,
the pie chart,
Majora's
one
didn't
that
make
Reggie was
top
so proud
5.
of. I mean, an overwhelming portion of it was all Nintendo. So why?
Really?
shouldn't
You
we?
put
Why
Link to the
should
Past as
Very
3?
profitable,
I
and,
didn't think you were
PDA
such a
still
Link to the
sells
Past
to,
fan.
Oh
mainstream
yeah,
audiences.
you see
Again,
kids everywhere. Kids are always going no with their GPAs.
Can't
I'm
make
the
that.
only woman, older person over 12 with
Playing
one.
it
But
in
that's
a
okay.
Sony conference,
Sims on
by the way.
GBA.
Playing
know
the
that
Sony
much.
conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was bored. It's starting late.
DDR Mario.
Yeah.
Excellent. What can you do?
Now the end is nigh. Well, the end of Nintendo's press
Hip-hop
conference. that
hooray!
is. Before they turn
Oh.
out the lights, though, we've got to look at a new Game Boy that'll make your hands look really, really big.
Oh, and you know what they say about that?
What?
Thanks for that.
Hip hop hooray! Oh.
On May 27th, hit hard.
What about 2D and 3D Mario's top 5? Are we keeping them separate or combining? I can't rank Mario. I struggle with ranking Mario. For the longest time, I put Mario 64 as my favorite,
Michelle.
but then
can you
going
see
back
how
to
much
it, it's like,
time is left in the
no.
game? Michelle?
Man, I can't do that.
The first light crispy wafer candy bar with Butterfinger cream.
I'd probably go Super Mario World.
So delicious. Michelle, look at the screen.
But Galaxy 2 is way up there. I mean, Odyssey, honestly?
Dangerous.
See, here's the thing. I've said this before. This is a hot take.
Butterfinger crisp.
This is a hot take. If I really think about it, and I'm really honest with myself, I think I might put Odyssey as number 1. Because Odyssey is Mario 64, but better in every way. And I have such fondness for Mario 64. I just, because here's the thing. One of my favorite things to do in video games is to explore. And Mario Odyssey provides exploration. It provides all kinds of different, like, you choose your own path, and it's got tons of stuff, hidden stuff, secrets. I don't know, man. This is why I can't rank Mario. Echoes of Wisdom, everything else. How dare you? Spirit Tracks, number 1. Four Swords, number 1. You can rank Sonic? Do it! Do it! Really? You put Odyssey up there? I feel like people don't talk about Odyssey that much. And maybe because it's new-ish, but like, I don't know, man. Galaxy 2 is way up there as well for me. Sunshine is very low. I want to love Sunshine, but... Yeah, Mario 3 is another one that you could make the argument is the best Mario. It's the best Nintendo game. Objectively speaking, Mario 3 is the best Nintendo game. You can fight me.
From Nestle, a light new way to break out of the ordinary. Also in minis.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? You put Mario Kart 8? That doesn't count. Otherwise, a good list. Galaxy 2 over Galaxy. That's where I'm standing. GPT is mostly talking about, like, which one's iconic and which one was, like, ahead of its time. if I'm just thinking about, like, fun to play, like, what's my favorite Mario games to play right now? Like, I think I gotta go Odyssey as number 1. What the hell is this? Seki, what are they saying in this song?
How dirty boys get clean. New Axe shower gel.
Edgy commercial. Good Charlotte. No. We're ending the stream. That's it. We're not doing Good Charlotte. Do you know I actually saw Good Charlotte live? We're friends here. I could tell you this, right? This is a safe space. I fucking saw Good Charlotte live. Now, before you unsubscribe to my channel and leave forever and cancel me, let me just tell you, the only reason I saw them is because I went to see Franz Ferdinand. You guys remember that band? Franz Ferdinand, great band. They still hold up. Especially the first 2 albums. So I went for Franz Ferdinand. But I had to see Good Charlotte to see Franz Ferdinand. So, in my defense, yes, I've seen Good Charlotte. Okay? But it was only because I was there with Franz Ferdinand. Obviously, Sonic Adventure 2, number 1. Everything else, number 2. Congo Bongos! Remember those? What? You don't know who Good Charlotte and Franz Ferdinand are? Anybody else in chat not know who they are? Good Charlotte is, I don't even want to go into it. Franz Ferdinand, you've heard that song Take Me Out, right? You say, I don't know. You say, I don't know. You say, take me out. That song was a big hit. They had a couple hits. Originated in the city I was born in and lived as a kid. I'm sorry for you, Frosty. Sonic Generations Mania. Wow, Sonic Mania is number 2. Wow. Oh, wow. Well, if you can YouTube it. It's called Take Me Out. You probably heard that. They were kind of part of that sort of underground scene of music that became big. Like, you know who the Strokes are, right? The Strokes kind of like were trailblazers in a sense because they like created this path for like more of an indie sound. They kind of like helped the indie scene out. And so from the Strokes, you had bands like Franz Ferdinand, you had fucking Kaiser Chiefs, you had the Killers. I'm sure you've heard of the Killers. You had who else? I mean, a ton of bands. You haven't heard of them in a bit. Yeah, Good Charlotte. I think they did that song like girls don't want boys, girls want cars and money. I think they did that song. So they were a part of, this is all sort of kind of the early 2000s. Like the Strokes had that song Last Night. Strokes are amazing. I've seen them several times. They're fucking awesome. They're probably my favorite, quote unquote indie band. Killers are up there. Never got into the Kaiser Chiefs. Oh, Two Door Cinema Club. Oh, you've heard of the Killers, dude. Mr. Brightside. The song, what's their biggest song, I would say, is, oh my god, I can't even think that the breaking my back just to know your name. 17 tracks, and I had it with this game. You had a girlfriend who looked like a boyfriend, and that was their big song. That's kind of their weakest song. The Killers and the Strokes were kind of the biggest bands to come out of that scene. Mr. Brightside is in the Fortnite shop right now. That's a great song, even though it got overplayed. Like way overplayed. I still like Mr. Brightside. That's a good song. That whole album, Hot Fuzz, there's not a single filler track on that album. Like, every track is absolute banger territory. The same thing with the Strokes. I mean, their first two albums, definitely. Arguably their first three albums. Not a single track that's filler. And amazing live. I've seen the Killers a couple times live. I've seen the Strokes a couple times live. Julian Casablancas is the main guy. He's the singer and writes a lot of the music. And so good live. Sonic Generations is really good, but they need to fix the classic version in the remake because Sonic didn't have any momentum, so you could just spam the spin dash and go crazy fast. I mean, isn't that good? Don't you want to go fast? You definitely you've had to have heard Mr. Brightside, and you had to have heard what the hell is the song even called? Girlfriend, it looked like a boyfriend in February of last year. I don't remember. This was like early 2000s. It's one of the future ones right now. Everybody loves Mr. Brightside. That's one of those songs that when I play at trivia, everybody likes. Find me somebody who does not like Mr. Brightside. Or who at least actively doesn't like it. Have you heard of that one band that originated from 4chan, Lost Media? What's the band name? The New Generation looks good. I'm a big fan of the early indie scene of music. Like, now indie music is huge, right? There's so many bands that, like, are popular that are, quote-unquote, have an indie sound to them, you know? Like the Raconteurs. I mean, just so many. That's the thing. All I listened to was country and southern gospel. Well, that's okay, because you got past 15. I mean, up until about 15, all I pretty much listened to was, like, grunge and, like, rock and roll, like, as a generic, and nu metal. Grunge, nu metal, you know. So that's okay.
Let's do this.
Anyway, Good Charlotte, everybody. Here we go. Yeah, they're kind of like emo. I think they might even be like a Christian emo band. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Donkey Konga 2.
If I get DMCA'd over Good Charlotte, I'm gonna break this computer in half over my face.
Popular songs made famous by bands like Good Charlotte. Only for Nintendo GameCube, rated T for teen.
But yeah, if you want like you've heard of the Strokes, right? I mean, Last Night was their big song. They've been around forever. They're still around. They're so talented too. Like Julian Casablancas, the main guy from the Strokes, has his own side project, which is great. Albert Hammond Jr., which is the son of Albert Hammond. You may have heard of that legendary musician. Albert Hammond Jr. has his own solo stuff that's awesome. Like, the Strokes they're kind of the Beatles of early 2000 renaissance of indie music. Like, they are the top. They're just, and they're legitimately good. You know, fun fact, my favorite band, Sonic Youth, hates the Strokes. It was from Guitar Hero? Well, you know, if you're interested in checking that stuff out, like, the first two albums from the Strokes, give it a shot. The Killers, Hot Fuzz, first album. Give it a shot. You know? Like, that's still my favorite indie, quote-unquote, music. Indie music has gotten so big now, it's just like, it's ridiculous. Have the Strokes been in Fortnite? That's a good question. they're obviously like they don't get talked about much anymore, though they're still around. I think they put out an album like a couple years ago, and it was pretty good. They don't get talked about much anymore, but they might be in Fortnite. It'd probably be Last Night if it's in there, because that was their big hit. They played Conan O'Brien's show back in the day, and it was really good. Anyway, it's called Panchico. They were like this high school band that published only 15 copies of their album. One guy found it and posted it. They went on a hunt to find original members, and they found them, and they formed the band back together. That's amazing. Panchico. It's a fun name. I fucking love the Strokes, dude. They're so good.
One warrior
You must protect Appleseed.
holds the key
The mobile fortress!
to the
You
future
just have
of
a
all
sound.
mankind.
That's so good. It's like rock and roll, but like it's a new form of rock and roll. Oh, another band too. Oh. Louis the 14th. Now, if you want more of like a classic rock kind of AC/DC sound to your indie music, I'll give you a couple suggestions right now. I'll give you Louis the 14th, Dirty. If you like your rock and roll dirty, like that, which I do, like the Rolling Stones type of deal, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, check out the first album. I didn't like the second album. The first album from Louis the 14th. Another recommendation, Wolfmother. The first album from Wolfmother is like very Zeppelin, very I don't know how to explain. Jet is another one. Jet. They did that song "Are You Gonna Be My Girl." They're a pretty good band. Very AC/DC like. They're also from Australia. Wow, that's crazy. Creed. I mean, Creed sucks, but I will admit that their first album, there's something there. You know, I mean, the guitarist from Creed, Wes Borland, is amazing. Like, the band itself is amazing. Unfortunately, it's fronted by Scott Stapp, and Scott Stapp, if you know anything about that guy, he's literally crazy. Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of a big music guy, but like, you know, I didn't start expanding my horizons probably till around 15, and you know, but it doesn't take long. It does not take long to
Brought to you by Chief.
start expanding. You guys should come to one of my trivia nights. You'll get a first class master class of music exposure.
All right, we've reached the end of the end, the last chapter of Nintendo's E3 press conference. Did we save the best for last, or just the tiniest?
And
You
no
decide.
Good Charlotte,
This
and no
is
Creed.
the GBA Mini, or I think we're going to see it in a second. It's the Micro. GBA Micro, you're correct.
Right.
It's
It's the size of an iPod Mini.
Oh, GBA Micro.
It's absolutely tiny.
It
That
has
thing
a tiny little
rules.
screen, and they swear that it's the best, biggest, brightest screen yet, but I'm gonna need to get glasses. Although
It's
to be
actually
fair,
large, but Reggie is 9 feet tall.
Yeah,
That's
it's made for little hands and little fingers and little eyes.
How much smaller do I need my video games? Well, the thing is, it's such a small screen. To me, the
And
issue
Frosty,
with
you're a music guy and you like
window
rock and
screen
roll.
that
I think
small, it's
my
smaller than
suggestions
the
are
GBA
good.
It's like, I mean, you almost want to start playing those games on a cell phone when it's
I want to get you past classic rock.
If you know the old Mario
I think you
Brothers
got
games that are
potential
that small, maybe they'll
to
actually look
really
good in, like, high resolution and
expand
stuff
the
like that.
music.
That's kind of sad.
I know you love your classic rock.
When it's that small, I think your ability to judge distance, I want to look at it
Well,
first.
but where else? What is Nintendo doing here? I mean, I bought a GBA. I bought a GBA SP. Do I really need another smaller device? Or do they want you to buy the DS?
Me and Frosty play some games of
Like, are they
Valorant.
telling you it's like buy a DS?
Or just the same as
The person
Overwatch.
who's gonna buy a DS is not the
People
same
going
person who's gonna buy
AFK and
a
the
Micro,
disconnecting.
whatever it's
Oh
called.
god.
Totally different audiences. They're gonna get it for kids. They're gonna get it for like image-conscious teenagers.
Right.
They're not aiming
can't
at
escape the
20
internet,
somethings.
Zachy.
You can't see
No,
it
I think
anymore.
what they're doing here I think they're backing up the message that they sent earlier. They're not sending a mixed signal. They said, look, we're going to support the DS. It's a separate platform from the SP, and I think this further proves it. It's
The
like,
internet
look,
be
we're
internet.
still making titles for the regular Game Boy Advance. Here's a whole unit that can play those titles. There you go.
You know, if they sell it at a hot topic, like they do all those T-shirts, it just occurred to me.
At a hot
maybe
topic.
that's what they're aiming
She
at.
shops at Hot Topper.
If they do that because of this, I want a cut of it.
It's actually kind of fun. The shooting in that game is kind of like you're forced to stand still.
Maybe that's what they're going for.
But it's kind of going back to what Tal said. I mean, this is so reminiscent.
I might check it
of
out.
Back when it went from the Nintendo Entertainment System to the Super Nintendo.
I might check it
You know,
out.
They held it back by a couple of years. There was an uproar when they first announced that they were going to move on to another system, because people felt like, that's it. Nintendo's been hoodwinking us. They got us to buy all the software library, and now the software library has been made absolutely redundant because there's all this new stuff that's going to be coming out.
Yeah,
It is strange. They reiterate the same
The
system.
those Game Boy games, they sell well. Those
Right.
Pokemon games. I mean, every time you see the list of top sales, it's like Pokemon, red, green,
But is
blue,
this a response
orange,
to the
purple.
PSP though? That's the thing is, it's like, they have this, they have DS. I still haven't seen a response to really PSP, and I think Nintendo says they're not worried about it. And right now the DS has sold more units worldwide than PSP.
But the PSP is not doing too shoddily. I mean,
Exactly. Well, obviously, GBA is still the king of handhelds out there, but I would like to see, Nintendo actually show us kind of progress in that market as well. PSP is going to be some stiff competition.
Yeah.
It's a sexy little machine.
If Sony doesn't abandon it, whoops, they did.
Higher end market than you're gonna buy your kid a little tiny micro thing.
Right. Well, let's take a step back now and look at Nintendo's conference. Compare it to the Microsoft.
Five-Finger Death Punch. Oh my god. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. I saw them live. They opened for Slayer in Philadelphia. Yeah, I mean, look, if that's what you like and you don't want to expand, then hey, stick with it. Not, expanding exposure of music and sound is just not for everybody. For me, I'm kind of like, you know how you are with movies and TV? Like, you see a lot of stuff. I'm kind of like that, but with music. And then, but when, you know what I mean? And then with music, the way you look at music is kind of the way I look at TV and movies. It's like, I just watch the same TV shows, the same movies over and over again, and I'm happy to do that. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny like that. Man, I would love, oh my god, I would love to take you guys to see Swans. I think that would be mean, though. I always use Neon and Sage. Neon is like the speedy character. Are there a lot of different character classes in Valorant? And do they have ultimate abilities? Slow people down and make walls? So she's kind of like Mei. What? Only 4? Ouch.
Sony. I don't know that it's even fair to compare because there was such less, the amount of information given out was so little in comparison. I'm excited for this.
Wow.
I am
It's cool. No, I think Nintendo's always great at their stagecraft, and their conferences are always sort of pretty tight, pretty interesting. And they had at the beginning they had this remix of Reggie's famous.
That was
song.
hysterical. They were making fun of yourself.
You didn't buy it, Prayer?
I was getting down. Don't get me wrong. I can throw down, but
I still think Miyamoto should have flown into the stage though.
On stream.
Yeah.
You just didn't give him much
Or
sense of
became him like a T2.
Yeah, or just fly. I mean, I think he can. I think he really can fly. It's all real time.
At the Microsoft press conference, you kind of had this basic feeling that they were pulling the wool over
You're
your
on your
eyes.
rotation
the whole
right
time.
now?
You had nothing to show that they were going to move real crazy and smooth, and maybe you
Yeah,
wouldn't
I don't
notice.
have a steady rotation. Like, dude, the amount of songs that I've consumed and continue to consume is obscene. Just obscene. Now I want to bust out the Strokes. And the thing is, like, I don't recommend to you guys stuff that's like when I do recommendations to you, like the Strokes, like the Killers, like Wolfmother, like Louis XIV, I do so. Those are like safe recommendations. Like trust me, you're not gonna pop this stuff in and be like, "What are you doing? Like, why would you recommend this to me? This is like I'm not immediately going to 5-star hard mode with this. So like, rest assured, when I give these suggestions, like I'm not, I'm keeping it safe. You charge your ult with kills and get charges between rounds. Okay, yeah, it's like Overwatch. You get your ult charged by doing stuff. Hopefully you charge your ult by healing as well if you're a healer. Can revive one person. is because of Alan Wake. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people say that. Alan Wake was a big laser. Which is like a marking character. Oh yeah, I saw the video, some of the videos you guys been posting about that.
You know, whereas at the Nintendo press conference, you had a feeling of, here's what we have.
It was sincere.
It was very
well, the
sincere.
fanboys, I thought,
Something that I listened to all their stuff for the first time.
And they're always really, really sort of euphoric. This one I thought
Wow.
was actually a little more muted.
There were even a couple boos. I can't remember exactly what part.
I do the same thing. I do the same thing. When I find a new band, if I like them, I will I'll go through everything. You know. But I do it yeah, about a week, yeah. I do it quickly too as well. It takes me about a week if they have a huge discography, but yeah.
Boo.
It was a very.
I've heard of them. I don't
Never
know
been
if
to
I
a
heard their
Nintendo
stuff,
press conference,
but
so there wasn't something that had me talking when I was walking out.
But
Tina
Mike,
last
was
year
in the show. Come on.
Well, of course. I
Was that
talk to
surprise?
Tina all the
All right.
time.
Well, wait, now they announced a new handheld, but no one seems. Do you guys
No,
care?
they
I
didn't.
care. I'm
wasn't-
interested in it. But
It wasn't a new handheld. It was the same handheld.
It's
but
a
smaller.
redesign.
It's a
Yeah.
redesign.
It's just street. You know what it's going to take.
well, if you
I'm
like
saying,
old
you know, it was a
Metallica,
big
you
deal. He pulled it out.
check
It was
out
a
old
big reveal,
Megadeth.
And he kind of said, "Here it is."
Reggie
and-
gave you that sense of big deal. Well, anyway, later, another look at the gorgeous kills over the PS3. And are your expectations good and raised now? Well, get ready to lower them, because when E305 Live returns, we'll also be talking about what we really think about the big three.
Have we already been doing
We just.
Boom, 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 boom. Wow, wow.
51. The secret is out.
Stewart.
Oh my god, remember Sobe?
High-priced internet providers cleaning
Wow, remember Sobe?
Conspiracy.
Stewart. Sobe Adrenaline Rush. Energy for the rest of us.
Oh my god.
Frustrated with high-priced internet
If anyone
providers
cares in
cleaning
an
you out,
E3 show
they
talk.
charge over $20 a month for service that should cost half of that. It's
Please
time
clap.
to try People PC Online.
2 hours.
Tune in, geek out, game on. It's time for E305.
Boom!
We've got an entire week of the biggest, baddest video game event of the year. G4
Booth
is teaming up with
babes.
IGN to bring you 2 hours a day of live coverage from the show floor.
Booth
And
babes.
he's been covering E3 since the Napoleonic Wars, back when the biggest game was called Hide the Musket.
War of the Roses, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Napoleonic Wars. What was that? 1803 to 1815? It was definitely early 19th century.
What's your take on the next gen consoles, Adam? Let's hear it.
You know what? I'm really excited for the PS3. They
And again, they have not heard the price yet, so that's going to be a, a big factor. They also have not seen the Wii controller yet.
they haven't sort of stumbled yet. They've been holding, probably something.
When you think about it, it really is kind of crazy that Nintendo sort of shows their new system and doesn't show the controller or talk about it. It is kind of crazy, and I assume because the technology wasn't quite ready yet, but like, you would think they would at least say what it's gonna be if they don't show it. Obviously they do that in 2006, but
It's going to probably take some of the luster off, but wow, after that press conference, I was excited. I really want Microsoft to clarify what's really happening. I want them to show some more cleaned up gameplay. Maybe we'll see it
turns
in
them
a
into
couple of
rock
months.
and heavy music.
And
Of course you would like that.
The revolution's going to be.
All right, Morgan, your thoughts.
Well, you
Of
know,
course
I was
you
really
would.
impressed by the PS3, the Ducky demo. There was a part where they had the iToy and they had these two cups, the colored cups, and they were pouring water from one cup into the other. The thing that was
That's so
impressive
funny.
is that the iToy
That sounds like the
picked
perfect
up the
band for
cups
you.
so seamlessly, whereas the iToy, you have to adjust it and you have to move around and you have to like jump up and down to get it to work. And it was just such a good seamless integration, and the water was beautiful, and it was nice to see what it could actually do as opposed to theoretically maybe one day we're arguing about pre-rendered or not pre-rendered. It was nice to see that.
Right.
Oh, another band too. You probably heard of that band, Cake. Well, actually, Cake was kind of before the indie renaissance. Cake, I think their first album came out in like the late 90s, but I kind of lumped them into that though a little bit.
The next gen iToy, or was that the traditional?
No,
iToy?
I think
'Cause noticed
it's
it was
a
painted
really good
silver.
That's a
right?
good band.
Yeah, I think
It
they're
was
saying someone
silver.
advanced. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're
Maybe they just painted it.
Except we
I don't know.
All right. One thing that I want to point out real quick, that
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys-
It's not from Pink Floyd The Wall either.
No.
That
It was
wasn't
from,
working out.
and I'm gonna say it. It was from the planted audience behind.
I'm
Jay
wearing a
Allen
Pink
and all
Floyd
the
shirt
other-
right now.
Not technically planted.
we don't-
Microsoft says they're members of
Suspiciously
our colony.
enthusiastic and segregated from the rest of the
Now, here's
press
the deal.
conference attendees.
And with too many girls in there to be believable. I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Now, I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not that these are our colony folks. That,
Right,
you know,
that's
so
what
Microsoft-
Microsoft claims.
Yeah.
They're our
Here's the
colony
deal.
members.
I have to believe that our colony players are more educated when it comes to gaming than to clap when Laura Croft comes on the screen.
I think
That's
if
got the
That
biggest
was
draw.
the tip off. It's
so,
like,
yeah,
oh,
my
wait,
recommendations are Strokes and Killers, and I think
Come on,
I would direct that mostly at
One that everybody recognizes.
Frosty.
Yeah.
I think
You know, one thing to me
Frosty
that I
would
really
most
liked
like
was,
that stuff,
Insomniac
but
games.
there's hope
Right.
for John and
Guys,
Saki.
Ratchet and Clank, great games. You know, we talked a lot on the show about sort of, you know, making games that are for mature audiences. One of the problem Nintendo has is it can't make content that's appealing now. Insomniac, they came up with this game. It's called I-8. Looks like sort of a cross between like Call of Duty and Half-Life, a PlayStation 3 game. This blew me away, and this is the last thing you'd expect from Insomniac. They actually did a shooter for the original PlayStation called Disruptor. But this just looks amazing, and this is just
so many
shows
people
the
on
talent.
the screen right now.
And their inventiveness and their amazing command of gameplay, I can't wait to see what's in this game.
You were giddy like a little Japanese schoolgirl. Whenever that little monster came on the screen, you squirming.
And it was a great tease because they didn't even tell you it was from Insomniac until the end. So you were like, "Who's this from? This looks great." So it's nice to see that.
For me, Fight Night was what it was.
Fight
all
Night.
about.
That one punch over and over.
It's like the
and over
Matrix
again.
punch, right?
If it is real time, which you know it looked like it was, but if it is real time,
See, what's cool about Fight Night is like each analog stick controls your respective arm. So the right analog controls your right, and you could tap up to do like a jab. You could. It's almost like a fighting game. You do like a half circle, which will do like a hook, or down and up sharply. We'll do uppercut. You've heard of the Strokes? Thank goodness someone has. I'm kind of shocked that like all these bands like the Strokes, the Killers, are like it's crazy, man. Like I know I listen to a lot of obscure stuff. I know that, but
it looks better than real boxing to me.
And if you know, but if you know
This is
boxing,
Strokes.
those are the expressions. When they show the guy get slammed into the rope, that dead expression.
And that's what's so disappointing, really, about Microsoft is we had just seen these beautiful facial expressions, and then we get over to Microsoft, and the faces are just those deadpan
dead eyes.
plastic
Nope, you're
faces
right.
again, and then just that
probably the most important band
crushed by that.
But let's not forget about current
in
gen
terms
because
of
there are a lot of great
Yes.
PS2,
indie music
Xbox,
renaissance.
PSP, DS games on display at the show here, and they're going to do really well this holiday season. So we've talked a lot.
And it hurts my soul that Sonic Youth hates the Strokes, but they have their reasons. The Final Countdown, a terrible song by Europe.
I think they're going to get a little ignored, though, is the thing.
I know, but there's going to be a lot of great
I don't know if I want
stuff.
to play them anymore. I have my new friends now.
They're not here yet.
I should listen to other music by that band Europe. Like, what are they? What does their other music sound like? Because everybody knows the Final Countdown, but nobody knows any other music from them. Which, speaking of that, you guys ever see Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I might have seen it. I don't know. I've seen a lot of Sonic Youth content over the years. I don't remember if I saw that. I know Beck interviewed Thurston Moore. You know Thurston Moore was on Space Ghost Coast to Ghost, which is fucking wild. And he did the intro music to that episode, inspired by Sonny Chirac. 91. Okay, that makes more sense. 91. I was gonna say 99. But what I was gonna say was, you ever see that movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off? You know that song that's like, you're all bump bump. Well, one day I got curious. I'm like, who is this band and what does their music sound like? It is a weird band. You never seen Ferris Bueller's? Oh my god, am I the only person here who's seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? You guys are killing me here. It's okay. But there's a weird song in it. But I kind of iconic to the movie. And so I checked out the band. I watched their live performances and stuff. Yes, actually, I have seen Maximum Overdrive. Curtis, Is you dead yet? Stephen King inspired novel, right? Yeah, that movie. I would like to see that again, just to see, because I like, even as a kid, I was like, this movie is dumb and cheesy and awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe actually
They're in
they
the
haven't called to
future.
say they really want to hang out
We've
yet.
got a lot of great guests
The
showing.
Pixies?
Great,
Yeah.
great current gen gags. So.
Ooh,
what
I
do you
didn't know
think
that.
is
That's
the
cool.
next big innovation coming out of next gen. I think from what I saw at Sony, I think it's their use of emotion. I think they
Maximum
got it.
Overdrive.
Valve and Half-Life. It's all in the eyes. It's all in the facial expression.
I can't believe you said the words Maximum Overdrive. I guarantee, I will bet every dollar I own that Saki and Frosty have not seen that movie. Nobody's seen that movie.
I saw that. I don't know, Tal, is it HDR?
Well,
is it?
especially on the technology side, wireless. Everything
true.
is wireless, different input devices. The PS3 has what it must be a total of 2 billion ports on it.
So many
Well,
inputs.
even though it is wireless, you
Oh.
can still plug everything into
Two
it.
HD monitors.
Yeah,
at
amazing.
one time on one console. Not that I have two HD monitors, but whatever.
Lots
I
of
could.
goodness. Lots
One
of
day.
goodness. All right, if you thought we were done, then sit back down on that soiled futon, brother. We've got another look at our week-long live coverage of E3 2005 and one last must
Soiled
look at
Futon
Killzone
is a
2.
good
When we come back.
Twitch channel name. Shut up. He directed that? Shut up. I did not know that. Wow. You know Stephen King hated the Stanley Kubrick movie, The Shining? So clearly, Stephen King, great author, but clueless when it comes to movies. Because he thinks Maximum Overdrive is the right way to do it, and The Shining is the wrong way to do it. Yes, Saki, very good. I think there are multiple face trucks, but there's definitely one at least. The whole premise is, it's kind of like Christine. You ever see that movie Christine, John? Another Stephen King movie where the car comes alive, and that's kind of Maximum Overdrive. The cars come alive. It was around the height of his self-medication. Oh, really? Was he a cocaine guy? I didn't know he did drugs, but I'm going to tell you right now. I bet it's cocaine.
I was here first.
Yeah, but I saw it first.
It's mine.
No.
Never seen it. It was okay.
This is mine.
Christine, I saw it as a kid, and I thought it was okay.
Gotta have sweet, gotta have new, longer-lasting juicy fruit.
He did everything for a bit? Oh.
Why am I the
Okay.
only reserve?
Well, that explains Maximum Overdrive, huh?
It's not just
An aftershave. An aftershave.
Simply SMS the keyword on this screen.
Let's
to
go.
24824.
We're ready to party with you.
With me?
Based on a 1992 Big Tobacco brainstorm session.
We're here to come up with
The
ideas
hell
for
is
the
this?
next generation of tobacco
It's
satisfaction.
like truth commercials.
Anybody?
What about a tobacco lotion?
Yeah, perhaps an aftershave.
How about a salted snack derived from tobacco?
Fair Enough is a Truth production.
Yeah, 1 hour. Oh my god, truth commercials? I didn't know they go back that long.
Dude, almost got it.
Hot. Here's one more look at the new Killzone.
What are all those laughings?
Hot.
What is that?
Call Westwood College. True.
But
It looks pretty
But
exciting.
if it can do that,
Well, if it comes out looking like that,
That's like when they
6
put
years
and
from now,
you
would it
in
still
the
be
end
happening?
credits. I know, right?
Well, I guess it all depends on what we're seeing.
We'd like to
out of,
thank, special
Xbox
thanks to
720 and,
da 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 and
They
you.
have a shorter console cycle.
Exactly.
Or PC. We haven't
He was
talked
hitting
about
it hard. Amount of stuff he was putting out.
Something that can get close to that in launch.
Correlation
will be all good.
of how he was
All right,
putting out so
then,
many
tomorrow,
stories.
all week long,
Oh.
We're going to have live coverage of E3
Interesting.
at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. New games, next-gen consoles, celebrities,
Makes sense, dude.
exclusive game demos, and women dressed as Blood Rain.
Hooray!
Ooh,
Hooray,
Uwe
love
Boll.
that. Plus, up-to-the-minute online coverage in all 3 major press conferences.
It's not
unedited.
uncommon for
They're full
prolific
length
artists
at
to
IGN.com.
All right, so
heavily
buckle your
medicated
seatbelts, 'cause this is going to be an
during their
explosive
prime.
ride. And by explosive, we mean they'll be using that defective power cord from the Xbox.
I mean, look, Sorkin. Is it Alan Sorkin? What the hell's his name? The guy from The West Wing. He definitely liked being medicated. Which, by the way, have you guys seen The West Wing? It's like a show from like the 90s. Like, I guess you call it a political show. John, in particular, I would recommend to you that West Wing is, I think, probably the greatest show ever made. Certainly when it comes to writing dialogue. But Sorkin was out of his... You've seen a few episodes? It's... The writing and the dialogue is so good. And you learn stuff. Every episode you learn things. And the acting, Charlie Sheen, Bradley Whitford, Allison Janney, fucking, what's his name is in it for a little while. What the hell? Not Tom Arnold. What's that guy's name? From Raising Arizona. He played Fred Flintstone in a live action. Oh my god, I'm blanking on that. Anyway, he was in it for a little bit. Most people say all his great stuff while he was high. Yeah. John Goodman, thank you. Jeez, my brain. Yeah, John Goodman was in it for a bit. That's a show that, like, I think you in particular, John, would like it, but I would recommend it to everybody to at least try it because the writing is so good. Like, yes, it's about politics, but it's just got great writing. I mean, and it's got heart, and it's not dry.
To power the 360. Oh. Goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Kids. You gotta plug it in.
Today on X-Play, a Dragon Ball Z game we might actually like.
Oh.
Plus, more secrets of Katamari
Katamari.
Damacy. And may the Force be with you when we review Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Ooh, this could be a good episode of X-Play. Too bad it's almost over. Katamari, KOTOR 2.
It's game time.
Yeah, I rewatch West Wing every like year. Welcome back, Frosty. We're about to call it a stream. Yeah, I like to rewatch West Wing. I got the box set every year or so. In fact, I'm about due to rewatch it again.
Welcome to co-hosts hired to appeal to a target demographic, Adam Sessler.
Why are they dissing every game that gets on here? Well, it's because it's edgy. You know, it's late 90s, early 2000s. It's all about that edgelord vibe, Saki. So, you know, we gotta be. Sounds like me and Justified. Oh, really? You do the same thing every 2 years? Yeah. Yep. Yep, I totally do. And I still love it. It's still great. I do that with The West Wing, and in terms of movies, this is a weird one, but have you guys ever seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? That's a movie that I watch at least once a year, and it's really good.
Web.
It's depressing. Hello and welcome to X-Play, the show that appeals to an audience of one, really, just Adam Sessler.
And I'm indifferent to myself.
Yeah. On today's show, we review the new Dragon Ball Z game.
Plus, 2D fighting with a new Guilty Gear game.
And we spoil the extra secret ending of Katamari Damacy, the game made by and for
I always thought it was
illegal
Damacy.
substances.
Plus, the first driving game for the Nintendo DS, and we'll tell you if it's any good.
And last, but oh, so very far from least, the sequel to the game X-Play voted Best of the Year in 2003.
KOTOR.
For Star Wars fans, we have a review of Knights of the Old Republic.
But first,
Isn't there like supposed to be a like remake of KOTOR coming out? Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. 1 year and Ghost the other. Hell yeah. It's comfort food, right? It's nice to have those shows or movies that like are comfort food. You know? Even if they're not super great, because like Eternal Sunshine of Spotless Mind is not perfect. It's not a 10 out of 10, right? But it's interesting. It's got a good vibe, and it's a good movie. The West Wing, on the other hand, is a perfect show. Even when Alan Sorkin, is it Alan Sorkin? Sorkin left the show. He left the show, I think, season 4, 5, and 6. Some people are like, "Oh, it's not good then," but it's still good. Pretty sure it's pronounced that way. You might be right. I just never hear it pronounced that way. Pretty sure it got canned. Huh. Interesting. You might be right. Because we haven't heard about it, which would be a huge bummer. Katamari is actually good. Oh, people love Katamari. I tried playing it, and it didn't work out so well.
A game
You guys remember?
you're terrified to review.
That was bad.
Every time we review a Dragon Ball Z game, we get insane hate mail from the Dragon Ball Z fanboys.
But the other Budokai games have been horrible.
Yeah.
And we aren't gonna lie and tell you to buy them when they suck, no matter how many times you threaten us.
Dragon Ball Z fans are the reason I have to wear Kevlar to work, and it's hard to look cute in Kevlar. Thanks a lot, fanboys.
Here's a
9.5
review of
to
Dragon Ball Z
10.
Budokai 3.
There's not many shows I would give a 10 out of 10. Like, I guess Breaking Bad, I would probably give a 10 out of 10. The West Wing, I would give a 10 out of 10. I guess you could argue like a South Park, you know, even though it's not as good anymore, like overall, you can argue a 10 out of 10. I don't know what else. There's a lot of 9s out there. I watched a lot of 9s. I might give Dark a 10 out of 10, which, by the way, John, you really gotta watch that. You're the one who got me to watch 1899. And I did. And then I went to the show, the other show that guy did, called Dark. That you need to watch, because if you liked 1899, which you did, oh boy, dude, just you wait. You ain't seen nothing yet.
It was like every other morning at X-Play.
I don't give South Park a 10. Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about that. Like, the first 10 seasons are a 10 out of 10. You really got to. I think he said you also haven't watched Breaking Bad, which is gonzo. It's one of the best future cop cyberpunk things there is. Okay, you're kind of selling me on it. I've always heard Ghost in the Shell is good, but I don't know which Ghost in the Shell is the one to watch. But apparently it's Sack. I do love cyberpunky stuff, so it is anime, which throws me off a little bit, but I could probably look past that.
And the interns were providing invaluable
But you actually got me to watch a TV show. Like, you know how hard it is to get me to watch a movie or TV show.
I discovered that something had gone horribly wrong.
Hey, player, what's up?
The hell? The next TV show I plan on watching is Tulsa King, though. Like, I've been going through a lot of TV shows. Mr. Robot was fantastic. Succession, tons of shows. But the next one on the list is Tulsa King. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul, I don't know, man. I'm not vibing with it.
Hey, Shane.
That anime's good.
All right, what the hell is going on here? I had my suspicions. I've never liked Dragon Ball, and neither has anyone else on staff. But all this screaming could only mean one
What?
thing.
Is the third
Dragon Ball
Spanx?
Z Budokai 3 was in the house. And it was taking over.
Alright, that's the end of the video, and that is the end of the stream. I gotta take care of a few things before I check out that Elden Ring stuff. For at least an hour, because I gotta try to sleep early, but, ugh. Yeah, we know about Captain Spanky. There's a Captain Spank ass? CSA? What? Is there a CSI? Captain... I don't even know. The original is good. Standalone is the best Ghost in the Shell ever. Okay. I've never heard of Standalone Complex. I have heard of the original back in the day. People really liked that. It ends on the Dragon Ball game. Yes, it does. Which is perfect because I love Dragon Ball. Kamehameha? Kamehameha? The next E3 we watch?
E3. The competition.
Who actually posted their
Oh, it's Olivia Munn. Isn't she married to Aaron Rodgers? It's one of those shows that when you watch on the verge, you think, this is good. Now, oh, nice. Dude, that's kind of like me at West Wing. Like, every now and then there's a political show like House of Cards, which is a very good show. Scandal, which people seem to really like. And then I'm just like, and then you have The Newsroom, another Sorkin joint. But then, like, I watch those, I'm like, these are good. But let's go to the real thing. Imagine someone mistaking you for Captain Spank Ass. More like Captain Stank Ass, am I right?
Here's what Quipper had to say about Nintendo. I can't wait to try out the Nintendo Wii. This system seems to have the most efficient entertainment and price ratio. Yeah. And it's a fun name.
Got him.
Solid.
J.J. Abrams took time out
Oh my god, I remember her. It's like the British correspondent from G4.
of counting his Mission Impossible 3 millions to tease lost fans.
Heat
about the
Index
season
is
finale.
back. Let's go. This is a sneak peek on the next time we watch E4, E3. We got the Heat Index. We got the British lady. We got Olivia Munn.
We're almost through our second hour.
Really?
And you know what that means?
Do I get to sleep? I'd like to sleep.
No, Morgan.
Wait, we get to eat more of those yummy hot dog concession stand thingies?
No, we don't.
We're gonna get to marry one of those booth babes, take her on the road as a vaudeville act. Going, look at that booth babe.
No.
Alright, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for the follows and the subs. We're going to call it.
Look at that booth babe.
And then we pause for cringe. Peace out, yo. Later. We're not going to do a raid. I got a shit shower and shave. And Elden Ring DLC. Would love to stream it, but I can't play it for long. Oh, I'm excited.
Look at that booth babe.
So good. I think I'm going to clip that. I think dude needs to stop appearing on E3 after that. Oh, dude, you don't know about Adam Sessler? Adam Sessler, in the modern era, is problematic and kind of crazy. His heart, I think, is in the right place. I stopped following that whole thing. But yeah. Yeah. It's a whole rabbit hole. I'll play Elden Ring DLC eventually. Eventually! There is no try, only do. Have you beat the boss you need to beat to get a DLC? I think so. I think it's Underground Mogwai? I haven't looked into it too much, but I think it's the Mogwin thing. So I should be good. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much did everything in Elden Ring. Big Egg Stage? I just remember it was like a lot of lava. I think lava, or like, maybe not lava. It's like a small mountain where there was a bunch of like suicidal guys that would like explode. Blood, thank you. Yeah, I knew it wasn't lava. Blood, that's it. I knew it was red. And viscous. You'll play it eventually? Okay. Well, I won't spoil anything. Me and Frosty can maybe we can talk about it in spoiler tags. See, you say that, Frosty. I don't think that can't possibly be correct. Cause like, I don't believe it. I really don't believe it. Not counting an optional one. So 7 bosses. I've been waiting so long for a new one. I thought it was impossible. Oh, Mario and Luigi? No, I mean, I'm not surprised by that. Like, I'm honestly not that surprised by the Mario and Luigi thing. Because, like, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo loves the whole Paper Mario series, Mario RPG series, and that's kind of part of it. It's like a subset, you know, like a division of it. And look what they're doing with 1,000 Year Door, with Mario RPG. I think I'm not so surprised by that. Feeney for a new Mario and Luigi? Yeah, I'm curious about it. It looks good. I'm gonna wait to see what reviews are like. Honestly, I want a new Paper Mario. I personally loved Origami King. I really liked Origami King, and so new run and Dawn Trail is out in a week. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. But see, aren't you worried about spoilers? I am. Exactly. Plus a lot of other like JRPGs. I mean, Nintendo is bringing the RPGs. Dude, fucking Dragon Quest HD 1, 2, and 3. I'm absolutely gonna play those games. And it's HD 2D. Like, I love the fact that Octopath Traveler kind of created a template by which now so many games are using. They called it HD 2D, and that's what everybody's calling it now. And I love it. I love the way it looks. I'm so glad that that's becoming kind of the standard. You're not worried about spoilers for a Souls game? That's fair. Have you fought the Dragon Lord yet? Was that like that big sleeping dragon? Because if so, no. I'm not going to. Dawn Trail, I'm worried for spoilers. Yeah, that makes more sense because that's more like story. There's 10 endings to Elden Ring? What? No way. Everyone will be playing it? Well, everyone I mean, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I think maybe more people will be playing Elden Ring DLC, but I don't know. Right? HD 2D is like so cool. And Dragon Quest, those were my first RPGs. And so there's just so much nostalgia there. Like, oh my god. Sean is crazy. Is that tonight? Wait, when did you say that's coming out? No, it's not tonight. Out in a week, yeah, week. You could knock out the DLC in a week. It's not that, it's a hidden boss. Oh. I don't know, Saki. I don't know. I did recently fight a big dragon. I forget, his like Thomas or some weird name. Clearing next Friday, but yeah. Well, let's first of all hope for good news Monday when you have that appointment, and then go on from there. But oh yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate the follows and the subs, and have a good night.
I go and look at their booth, babe. No. I go and look at their booth, babe. I go and look at their booth, babe. I go and look at their booth, babe.
No, well.
Perfect reaction.